And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of ESL Open Cup Americas number 205. That's a lot of editions. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to an amazing series here, an amazing tournament as well. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. I'm of course Host Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat, by the lovely players as well. Today we have the European edition of the Americas Weekly. We have an abundance of European players showing up out of nowhere. Usually they don't stay up this late, but we have players like Lambo, Harston, regulars like Clem and Max Hex, but even irregulars like these two players here. And here we go, spawning in the top left hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the red Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Strange. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Finnish Zerg player. Not quite Cyril, but the blue Zerg representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. Here we go. The ZVPs are upon us here, and again, I highly recommend checking out the brackets at the moment. We will be going over it in a moment as well. We'll be going over the bracket and all the players that have joined us here today. Again, a very stacked bracket, not just your typical Koreans and Europeans, but even players that have, again, not really played in ESL Americas in a long time. So I'm excited. I am ready for it. Ooh, and we're sinking our teeth into this ZVP matchup. Already, we have a pretty standard opener here from Strange, but he's anything but. He does live up to his name. For the most part, his openers are standard, yes, but the follow-ups are where the irregularity does kick in. We have seen a lot of kind of 3-base shenanigans with like hidden tech or kind of offbeat timings, offbeat builds, offbeat aggression from Strange. We typically cast Strange in WTL in World Team League, but again, for the first time in a long time, he's here in ESL Americas, so I'm more than willing to feature him, more than willing to see what he brings to the table and how he compares against a player like Mixu. For now, going to be a Stargate opener. Stargate opener, everything's looking normal. This should be leading to a third base, but it's after the Stargate. That is where my attention lies. The tech after the Stargate, anyway. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have Mixu just going for a hatch gas full standard opener. Mixu, he isn't really one to deviate too much. He's typically a very standard player. He can be aggressive in ZVZ. We have seen that before, but he's not really one to all in. As far as all in, you know, we have seen him cut workers at 66, 3-base saturation. That he is more than willing to do, but I'm not really, Mixu isn't really one that comes across as one to like Bane Bust or Roach Rush, go for a gas first or anything crazy like that. That's typically not how he approaches this, but we'll see. We'll see how we do deviate, as there it is, not an Oracle, Void Ray first. Strange. What are you up to? Adepts they get across the map. So far, the Queen's going to be able to keep up. Lings as well, keeping up with the Adepts as well. Ooh, as we do protect that. Oh my god. We tried it. No, the tumor. No, we tried to protect the tumor, but alas, it does go down in the end. A good pick up here from Strange. Does take some hull damage, but does back the hell off. Does threaten the shade into the natural base, but we shouldn't commit. Link speed is done, and Strange needs to get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, across the map, that Void Ray. Okay, so the reason why I put a lot of emphasis on this Void Ray, the Void Ray is going to be shutting down this Overlord. It's going to be making it that much more difficult to scout, and usually we have something cheeky behind this. This will lead into a third, yes, but this could lead into a Fleet Beacon, into a Skytoss Rush. This could also lead into a Twilight Council Enclave Adepts. This could lead into a Robo and an Immortal All-In, or into a standard third base into Blink and +1. This could lead into standard play or some hidden tech. And Mixu knows this, but Mixu, he knows that anything is possible, but it's going to be difficult to determine what. And we'll see how he does piece it together. We'll see what Strange brings to the table. For now, third base is being taken. Everything's looking normal for the time being. Oracles are on the way to harass. Adepts is going to be, first Oracle going to be going across the map. Mixu going for a lair here. Pretty standard timing for this lair. We should soon be seeing a Roach Warren as well. So far, we're just droning, focusing on Queen production, getting our Lings on the way. Oracle is going to be threatening this natural base, but the Queens are ready for it. We have 2 Queens in the natural. Oh, we are moving over to inject, actually, and we do open up one of these bases. Here we go. We have Adepts here at that third base. Oracle's going to be threatening the natural. The Adepts, they get 3 worker kills. Oracle's getting ready to dive into that natural as well. There is no Spore. Mixu has to be careful. There's that Roach one on the way. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but that was a pretty fast Robo. A delayed Adept, delayed Forge, delayed Twilight Council. as 6 more workers go down. Pretty good damage so far by Strange, especially considering that he has kept his units alive. The Oracles are still up and running, and we still have Adepts threatening Shades here towards the third. Good reaction out of Mixu, does pull back. Does shut down these Adepts in the end. Does lose 1 additional worker here at the third base, and here at the natural, the Oracles, they don't dive back in. But I did notice the faster robo. It was a very fast robo and a delayed +1 in Twilight Council, and we can see why. Immortal production. We're getting to really early immortal production here for Strange. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they dive back in. Dive back into the natural base. So far, the Queens are keeping up. They get 1 additional drone. Only 1. The Oracle's getting very low. And they're going to get recalled back home. As they get recalled back home, we have Lings checking the third base for saturation. We have a gateway explosion, and yeah, this is kind of the direction that I assumed we would take. We have not just fast Immortals, we have Charge on the way. This is going to be a very dedicated push here with Immortals, Chargers, and I imagine Archons on top of this as well. Very ground-based and designed to shut down a player that's being maybe a little bit too greedy. Now, thankfully, we have a Roach Warren, and we're investing into Roaches. Something that's a little bit risky, Spire. Spire is on the way, I believe, unscattered. Let me just double-check. Yeah, it hasn't been scattered yet by Strange. Strange, he's in the dark, not fully aware of what is going on. But I am still concerned. If we invest too heavily into these mutas, then this ground-based push is going to hit like a truck. And it's going to be so difficult to hold on and defend if we don't fixate on our own ground army as well. But we'll see. Oracles, they do dive in towards the natural and towards the third in the main. The Spore isn't done. Drones are going down. The Queen's out of position. That's going to be 7 dead workers. 8 dead workers even. Oh my god, between them, they've gotten so many worker kills. I'm afraid to look as well. It's been 16 drones in total, an entire mineral line. We even have some inefficient mining. Okay, we're going back to mining here at the third base of Mixu. He is hurting a little bit here. 11 mutas are on the way. These mutas, they got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do. They need to get some economic damage done. Here comes that push that I was worried about. We invested a lot into these mutas. That means we have that much less to defend against the ground army. Where's the roaches? That's the thing. We have 0 roaches. 5 roaches in production as we speak. Strange, this push has a lot of potential. Mutas are zooming across the map. Mixu, I believe he has to give up this space. I don't think we can hold on to the 4th. We might be able to hold on to the 3rd base as we're amassing roaches. Spine crawlers are in production as well. Yeah, we have to just give up on this 4th base. Meanwhile, the mutas, they do get across the map. And they will get damage done. Probes are going to be falling. Right now, we are wasting our time with this hatchery, which is a good thing for Mixu. Mixu, he needs more time here to amass an army. Probes are going down across the map. The first queen goes down. Decent transfuse, zoning the army away from the 3rd base. The Archon's looking a little bit exposed, though. Clutch transfuse. I'm loving the whole position micro here from Mixu. And he's getting on top of these Archons, so they're falling. 1, 2, 3 of them go down. We're going to be able to clean this up. Meanwhile, the Zealots are, yeah, again, having a really hard time getting damage done, but there we go. Now they're getting to the mineral line. 17 drones go down. But we clean up the Archons, we clean up the Immortal. The Zealots, finally, they can engage. And they do get a lot of worker kills. Meanwhile, across the map, the mutas, they're wreaking havoc. They depower the Stargate. Stargate has been depowered. And Mixu, he will defend, he will hold. And across the map, his mutas, they're getting damage done. Remember, Blink is not researched. We do focus down the Phoenix. And these Stalkers, they cannot keep up. They're trying. Oracles, both Oracles go down. And we find another mineral line as well. Worker-wise, the economy is looking pretty even. Oh, can we get the Prism? We can! Prism goes down. Big pickup. So Mixu gets away with going into mutas, essentially. These mutas, they are keeping him in this. And now he's going for a big roach counterattack towards the 4th. Stalkers are trying to keep up. They're going down one after the other. Roaches, they do arrive at the 4th base. Zelda being cleaned up, and does Strange have enough to defend? Again, no Immortals, no Archons. Only gateway units left. And GG gets called. Oh my god. GG, well played. Mixu takes game number 1. Whew. That was a scary game. That was... Oh my god, Bappy. GG, well played. Oh, I do need a moment to fix that. Bam, there we go. GG, but yeah, that was a really risky move for Mixu to go for those mutas across the map, especially because at the time he hadn't scouted and he did not know that a Charger Archon push was coming. That's the thing, remember, he wasn't able to scout or confirm that. It was a very late reaction from Mixu. I do believe, though, that Strange killing the 4th worked in Mixu's favor. Mixu, he was able to buy enough time to get his spine crawlers up and running, to bring his queens over, and to amass enough roaches to fight toe-to-toe with the Archons. It was two things. It was, one, that time was bought because the 4th base was being focused down. 2, the Zealots were wasting their time in the mineral line. They were like on an A move, and they were stuck trying to work through the drones, and they were attacking the eggs as well. So all the Zealots were wasting their time, and the Archons were exposed, and we could focus them down without any kind of buffer, without anything to support the Archons. So a couple of things went well for our Zerg player there, and he was able to eventually break free, snowball out of control, and now we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone. We have the red Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Strange. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Finnish Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. Leading the series 1-0. Remember, it's a best of 3. One more win is all Mixu needs. And yeah, I do actually do think these two players are pretty comparable with each other. I do think that they're both quite close in skill. Personally, I would love to see an ace match between them, but you know, I just want to get as much as I can out of these two. But we'll see. We'll see how things do unfold. We'll see how Strange adapts here. Again, it was a very interesting build last game. Going for the Void Ray into the Immortal Chargel Archon push was again looking terrifying. But likewise, like how Strange wasn't aware of what his opponent was doing. Sorry, what Mixu wasn't aware of what Strange was doing. Strange also wasn't aware of the mutas. He wasn't aware of them, and the mutas did catch him off guard. They did cause quite a lot of havoc across the map, and they dealt quite a lot of damage. So, yeah, the mutas, in a way, the MVPs for Mixu in that last game, allowed him to get economic damage done and to facilitate for him to get the win in the end. GG. GG. For now, we are just settling into game number 2. Mixu going for a hatch gas pool. Standard opener here from our Zerg player, as to be expected. I mentioned before that Mixu, he isn't really one to go for like a 12 pool or, oh my god, as he gets a kill on the probe. That was not supposed to happen. Ay. So Strange has to be a little bit careful here, slipping up a little bit in the early game. One probe, not the biggest of deals, but this means that Strange doesn't have eyes on the third. One, he won't be annoying. He won't be able to be annoying and delay it and force out lings early on and stuff like that. Because the probe died, Mixu doesn't have to make lings in the early game. Usually you make like 2 to 4 lings just to clean up that probe, to deny the pylon and to expand. We can see that Mixu, he can cut corners and be greedy and just delay his lings until the adept arrives. So nice little win here from Mixu, able to be a little bit more efficient after killing that probe. While Strange does have to tighten things up, the first adept soon to be moving out across the map. As for the time being, we're actually staying back at home. Meanwhile, Stargate opener once again from Strange. Not really deviating too much. We'll see if he goes for a Void Ray first again. We'll see if he does go for that Void Ray first, or if he goes for something different. There it is. Void Ray is on the way once again. Let's go. Void Ray is on the way. Gonna be shutting down this Overlord, keeping his opponent in the dark. Mixu looks to chase down these adepts. They do shade into the main. We head towards that main base, and it looks like so far we're able to keep up. So far, no economic damage yet, but they do get one drone. Nice Evo block, but we do commit to shade towards the natural, and here we get another couple of workers. 3 drones going down. Can we get a 4th? Up! We do! 4 workers. Can we get 5? Okay. 4 workers for 2 adepts. A good trade. A very nice trade here for Strange. Overlord gets hunted down. 3rd base is on the way, but once again, our eyes are on what comes next. Last game, we saw a really fast robo for Immortal production. Here, again, we'll see if we get a 2nd Stargate, a Fleet Beacon, a faster Twilight Council, missing Forge. There's a lot here that Strange can whip out. We are loading into Alcyone. This is a very large map. It is more macro-oriented and has a long rush distance. So we'll see if we decide to embrace that, or if Strange decides to be aggressive once again. For now, Oracles are on the way. Adepts are shading out once again. We're looking to harass, looking to deal some more economic damage. Last game, We did amazingly. Remember, last game, Strange killed 16 drones, an entire mineral line. It was crazy how much damage he dealt. Can he do it again? Once again, Robo first. Oh boy. Adept says shade into the third base. Link speed is done. 2 workers are going to be going down, but we do manage to shut down the Adepts at least. Yeah, Adepts will fall. Oracle doesn't go in yet. But once again, with the faster Robo, this, I imagine, is going to... I mean, this looks like the same build. Straight up. Looks like the exact same build as last game. To go into Immortal, so into +1 and charge. We'll see if maybe we go for just faster Observers and we don't go for Immortals or something, but for now, this looks like the first game. Oh, Adepts do get caught out. Nicely done here by Mixu. The Oracles, they do dive in towards that natural base. They get another couple of workers. Oh, even a transferring drone as well. Good Queen positioning, but we get damage done anyway. 6 more drones. Again, very nicely handled here by Strange. Does rotate over towards the right hand side. Gets eyes on the gold. Mixu being a little bit greedy here. Being a little bit bold. But as we mentioned, it is the same build. 2 games in a row from Strange. We have fast Immortal production and charges on the way. Just like last game, this should be leading into Archon production as well. And 1 big push on 3 bases with, what was that? I think it was 4 Archons, 2 Immortals, and then Zealous to reinforce. It's not all in. You do take a 4th base behind it, but you expand behind the push. And again, you ideally deal crippling amount of damage. See if Strange can pull this off. Meanwhile, the Oracle's once again threatening these bases. So far, we've killed 12 drones, which is a pretty good amount of damage, to be honest. Not too bad here from Strange. Meanwhile, tech-wise, ooh, we're going Lingbane. That's a little bit scary. Mixu, he's skipping the Roach Warren. He's going straight up Lingbane. The Roach Warren is now on the way. It is a little bit delayed. Strange is amassing his army as we speak. The Temple Archives is about to finish up, and then we can warp in those Archons. Mixu, he needs to get into Roach production sooner rather than later. This Bane speed, Banelings, they will help against the Zealots, yes, but we need those Roaches against everything else. Here we go. We are pushing. Roach Warren still on the way. We have an Infestation Pit and a second Evo. Mixu is being so greedy. He does have the gold. I can understand the reasoning why we're being greedy here, but the push is coming, and Mixu, he hasn't seen this. He has controlled the Zonaga, doesn't have eyes here on the right-hand side, and this gold base, I think it's going to go down. We'll see if Mixu can hold on to it. Thankfully, Mixu has another backup hatchery, so we can just evacuate and go to a backup base instead. Link counterattack does get into the mineral line, and do we turn back around? The Banelings! They crash in, big connections on the Zealots. We clean up every single Zealot. That was best case scenario here for Mixu. The Link counterattack killing 14 workers. The Zealot army gets annihilated. And now we have only Archons and Immortals. Roaches are on the way. We just have to buy time. We just need to buy some time here as Mixu is being forced back. He has to respect this army. Another wave of Zealots are on the way. Meanwhile, 20 drones go down across the map. Wow, 20 workers even. The drones, they have to evacuate. Lings are coming in. Roaches are amassing. 14 roaches on the way. Big stasis trap. Massive stasis trap on these Lings. Mixu, he still isn't out of the woods yet. Trying to focus down these Archons as best he can. The roaches, they have arrived, but we're running out of queens. Clutch transfusing some of these roaches. We have reinforcements on the way. Stasis trap is soon about to run out, but the queens are falling. The hatchery goes down. Oh, the Lings. Oh, they do take a lot of hits here. Oh, God. In the retreat. And again, Mixu, he just has to hold on. He just has to survive. He does have the worker lead. Gets himself some of these Zealots. But again, the Archons are doing so much in the back line. There we go. The boys are being pulled. More roaches on the way, but it looks like Strange may have too much. It's going to be close here. The Zealot army is being thinned out. We can go toe-to-toe with these Archons. Pulling the boys. So many of them are going to be going down. 13 dead workers, and it looks like Strange has broken these bases. Mixu, he had a very good start here to the defense, but we mentioned before that the Roach Warren was delayed. Mixu was being greedy. Boys are being pulled. We're trying to dive on top of this army, but it looks like it's just too much, and we are going to the ace match. GG gets called, and Strange takes game number 2. Whew. GG. We are going all the way to game 3. Again, it's been the same build 2 games in a row here from Strange, And this time on Alkione, with the goal base, Mixu was being a little bit too greedy, going into double Evo chambers, delayed Roach Warren, faster infestation pit, into a 5th hatchery as well. Oof, a lot of greed. And Mixu, I mean, if the game went on a little bit longer, if it progressed, then we would have had a... I mean, he would have been in a really good position, getting into the mid game, getting into 4 base saturation, but alas, that timing from Strange, a little bit too strong. And with that, we're getting into the ace match. Here we go, game number 3. The final game of this series. One way or another, the game will end here. We're going to be loading into Hard Lead. Ooh, Hard Lead. This would be a better map for Strange's playstyle here. If Strange goes for the same build 3 games in a row, it's going to have a little bit more firepower here in game number 3. There's going to be that much less room for Mixu to breathe. Rush distance by ground is a lot shorter on this map. We'll see how Mixu adjusts. I think coming into game 3, my eyes are going to be more on Mixu than anyone else, just because we've seen what Strange can do, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same build again from Strange. But we've seen Mixu switch it up, right? Game 1, we saw Mutas. Game 2, we saw a lot of greed. Game 3, what do we get? What does Mixu do here? How does he adapt? How does he adjust? What does he bring here to the game? And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the red Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming, tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. It is Strange. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. Chat, isn't Bjorn in Canada at the Shopify HQ? I think so. Question mark. I think there are some of the players there in preparation to go to DreamHack. I think that's a thing. That's why Bjorn has been streaming recently, I believe. Leading into DreamHack Atlanta. We might be able to cast some Bjorn later on tonight. Just depends on our players' performances and the matches that are going to be ahead of us as well. Is Bjorn in the... Yeah, Bjorn's in turn. Yeah. All the Terrans are in the lower half of the bracket. There's Future, Cure, Bjorn, Clem. I foresee a bunch of TBTs down there. And we'll see if we can get there eventually. We'll work our way down. For now though, hatch gas full, standard opener here from Mixu. This time the probe is going to be kept alive. Is going to be kept back. Hopefully this time Strange doesn't become too adventurous with it and doesn't lose it. As likewise he's going for a gate expand into the Cybercore. Mentioned before as well that, again, the rush distance by ground is quite short. This goes both ways. We have seen a lot of Zerg players go for Queen Walks and Queen All-Ins, where you just cut workers early on at 60 or sometimes even 53. Just cut workers, go for just mass roaches, queens across the map, blings as well to reinforce, and just send it. And yeah, it's quite powerful. It can be quite powerful, especially if the Protoss is not quite able to scout or get a read on what's going on. If they realize what's happening too late, then it can all end then and there. So I assume, especially after the first 2 games, that Mixu is going to make the assumption that Strange is going to do the same thing 3 games in a row. This is where Strange should mix it up. This is where instead we see Strange go for like a hyper greed. I don't know if I want to go for greed actually, but like a different play style. Maybe going for something like a faster fleet beacon or into Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts, which would hit a little bit faster. I do think now would be a really wise choice for Strange to mix it up. To play with the series, right? You kind of lure your opponent into believing they know what's happening when really they don't. You come at them with something out of left field. For now, Void Ray first, which is fine. I'm all for this. Classic does this a lot, where he goes Void Ray first, and every game Classic does something different. He would like mix in Glaive Adepts or Charge All-Ins or Carrier Rushes. But we'll see. We'll see. For now, everything's looking the same for Strange. Adepts are going to be shading into that natural. Getting a couple of workers. Getting 2 drones so far. They're looking for a third, but Link Speed kicks in, and we shut down the Adepts. 2 for 2. Acceptable losses here for Mixu. Meanwhile, across the map, Void Ray is going to be hunting down the first Overlord. Mixu, I'm sure, going to be making sure his Overlords are being kept back. Lings are moving out now that the Adepts have been dealt with. Can be active. We saw last game that Mixu did an amazing job at keeping up with the Adepts' movement of Strange and shutting them down. Oracle's on the way to deal some harassing damage. What I will say is that Strange's Oracle control has been really solid, and there it is! Let's go! We're going for a Twilight Council. I do not see a Forge, not yet. And this is how you play out a series. Game 1 and 2, same thing. Game 3, it looks the same with the third base on time with the Void Ray, but this screams Glaive Adepts. We have a Gateway Explosion. It's going to be 4 gates in total, 5 gates in total, 6 gates in total. Oh my god. And this should be Glaives, but we'll see if we go into a different direction. We have seen Hero go for Blink. Hero has had some Blink-based all-ins with a very similar setup, but there it is. Glaives are on the way. That's going to be shading in. Mixu is here. He does shut this down. Takes down both of those Adepts. Oracle still making its way across the map. Now, this time there's only one Oracle. Because we're spending so much gas here on these upgrades and on these Adepts, we don't have as much to harass, but despite that, we still get 5 workers, 6 workers. Oh my god. 7 drone kills. Very nice damage here from Strange. Again, his Oracle harass here, this entire series has been impeccable. It's been really good. We're getting so much here with these Oracles. And it's going to be the 1-2 punch. The Adepts are going to be amassing here back at home. There's no Robo, which means there's no Warp Prism, so we cannot reinforce across the map. We just have to warp in and then send it all here via ground. There it is. 5 Adepts at a time. Mixu back at home did go for a safety Roach one, thankfully, but oh, he's redroning. He's redroning, and because of everything that he's lost, the Adepts are now revealing themselves. We need an army. We need Roaches. Here and now, immediately, Spine Crawlers are on the way. The Queens, they're pushing on forward. But that is so many Adepts, and we have 0 Roaches. 0 Roaches, only 6 Lings. We commit to the shade. The wall is a wall. We buy some time. But we're still breaking into that natural. Roaches just now coming up, but drones are getting picked off. Shade into the main base. 7 drones going down so far. This is still acceptable damage. Behind this, Blink on the horizon. Forge as well for +1. Strange is not all in. He's transitioning. And he's still getting damage done. Bit of miscontrol there out of Mixu, but he does push on forward here with these Queens. Good transfuse. Keeps his Queens alive. Up. Ooh, picks up one of those Queens. And we are running out of energy. We could even kill another Queen. Oh my god. Now, unfortunately, we are foregoing economic damage. We're killing Queens, not drones. I spoke too soon. Drones are now going down. And we have another wave of Adepts. They shade into the natural, into the third even, both bases. More drones are getting picked off. Strange taking a massive economic lead. And again, these Adepts, they were surprised. They did catch Mixu off guard. That's going to be 14 worker kills. And that is 30 drone kills in total. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. 30 dead workers here. Insane trades for Strange. And just like that, he's far ahead. He has a stronger economy. He is soon to have the better tech with these upgrades kicking in with +1 and Blink. We have Immortal production on the way, so even a Roach-based counterattack is not going to be enough. And unfortunately, Mixu cannot counterattack because he still has Roach speed starting. Roach speed, it just started. Without it, we can't really push out. We can't really commit. Infestation Bit's on the way. Mixu, it looks like he knows that he can't go for an all-in just because it's too late. So we're taking up. Infestation Bit's on the way. This could lead into Swarm Hosts or faster Hive Tech. Swarm Hosts are a good way to start trying to trade a little bit more efficiently. Your Locust Wave, they can actually gain value over time and make it worth it. But regardless, Infestation Bit has been spotted. If we do go into the Hive, I'm sure this Oracle is going to get eyes on it as well. We'll see. As for now, 4th base is on the way. There it is, Hive in production. This will grant access to adrenal glands. We can get into our spellcasters, vipers, infestors. Spellcasters in general are going to be another good way to be supply efficient. they can, or just efficient in general. Since they are energy-based units. We'll see. Let's see if we can pull it off. As here comes Strange's main army, pushing it through the left-hand side. Meanwhile, Oracle coming in from behind, going for the stasis trap. Do we see? Oh! Alas, we do not. Big stasis trap catching half of those drones. Meanwhile, across the map, we do deny the 5th base. Deny the 4th base, even. 4th is going to be cancelled. This army is looking a little bit vulnerable. Where's the prison to reinforce, by the way? We're getting on top of the Immortal. Up! The Immortal is going to go down. Big pick off here from Mixu. Finally, something going his way. Do we have the... We do not have a prism. Okay, bold move out of Strange. We see Mixu double expanding. He needs a 4th. Getting on top of these Stalkers. Even picking up a couple of Stalkers here in their retreat. Not too bad. Oracle getting into the main. We have... There it is. Hydrogen and a Lunker Den on the way. This is a good way to start turtling, and I do think we need to get there. Unfortunately, I think Strange is going to be pushing first. He gets eyes on the Lurker Den. He knows he's on a timer. Strange knows Extend Thermal Lance has finished up, and now we're pushing. Once again, we are pushing without the War Prism. The War Prism, it isn't just about reinforcing, but the ability to juggle, the ability to control and save your robo-based units. It's quite important. We dive on the Ravagers. Do dive on top of the Ravagers, and this may just be too much. It's a numbers game at this point. As the Stalkers, they just dive on the army. Colossus going ham. The Hydras, they're barely holding on. We may have the Lunker Den, but we don't have any Lunkers yet, and it looks like Strange has too much. GG gets called, and Strange will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, very well played. I do appreciate that Strange was able to mix it up here in the ace match and to deviate away from what he'd been showing throughout the series, so very well done, and great way to make use of the series itself. Meanwhile, solid games out of Mixu. Game 1 he was looking strong, even in game number 2 as well. Like, even despite him being so greedy and cutting corners, like even then, like it was a pretty close defense as well from Mixu. So hope he isn't feeling too bad about that. And again, this series could have gone either way. GG, well played. Well played. And with that, Strange advances on. Mixu, he will be bowing out here in the tournament. But good games nonetheless. As we have to switch over because we have our next opponent. We have our next series. Here we go. If you're in the chat, !B to have a look at the bracket yourselves. And I need a moment to set things up. I don't want to be left behind. Don't want to be left behind here. As Strange has advanced on, and his next opponent is going to be another Zerg player, a very different Zerg though. It is going to be Dark. Let's go. The PVZs continue, but the Zerg players, they do not get easier. They get harder. Oh my. Just getting the logos ready. And we can switch our scenes over and have a look as well. Just because I'm going to be messaging some of the players. Here we go. Okay, from the top, we got some updates. So we have Dark taking down Heaven 2-0. Dark, as I mentioned, waiting for the winner of our series. So it's going to be Dark versus Strange coming up next. As we scroll down a little bit further as well, we have a Skilless versus Lambo. Another really good PvZ. Like, these are two really good series going on. Dark versus Strange, Skilless versus Lambo. I wish I could cast both. but it makes sense for us to follow Strange into Dark. And we'll be following Dark into the winner of Skilless versus Lambo. So, we're going to be focusing our attention here on the upper quadrant of the bracket. And, you know, we'll see where that all takes us. Of course, Dark is going to be coming in as the heavy favorite, but I want to believe that Strange, Skillus, and Lambo, they can all cause upsets. They can all take it to Dark, and they could try to, yeah, bring him down. Of course, Dark is last night's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. He is the Asia champion, looking to make a back-to-back win here, getting the Americas win as well. See if that's going to be the case. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we do have Max Pax soon going to be going up against Wayne. The PVZs continue, Poppy. Oh my god. They are going to be continuing. Oh, and now it all makes sense, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe Lambo and Harston, as well as Bjorn, are all currently in Canada. They're all currently in the Americas, which is why they're here. Now it makes sense. So, yeah, I realized the comment that was made earlier. So I was making the comment saying that, like, oh, this is the European edition of the Americas Weekly. These players are never here, like Lambo, Harston, even Skillus. Like, they're not really regulars in this tournament. I was really curious as to why they were here, or what kind of made this week special. And it makes sense. If Lambo and Harston, if they're currently residing in the Shopify team house or the Shopify HQ in Canada, in the Americas, and I mean, they're native to the region. It's a good time slot for them, and yeah, they're ready to play. They will even have good ping as well. Let's go. As I scroll down a little bit further, of course, Max Pax versus Wayne, potentially for another ZVP. Scrolling down a little bit further here, we have a walkover. This is the other play that I saw. I saw Raynor sign up. I was like, yo, he never signs up for this either. Like, all the Europeans are here. Will we have Raynor play? Looks like he did not show up. Unfortunately, Foolhardy gets the walkover over Raynor. I would have loved to have seen Raynor compete here in the Americas Weekly, something that doesn't really happen, but unfortunately will not be here, and we do get the walkovers instead. As we do scroll down a little bit further, we have Spaz versus Geralt. Winner going up against Clem. Clem and Max Pax, they are more of the regulars in the Americas Weeklies. They are known to be degens. Max Pax and Clem, they're willing to just ruin their Steam Shield. I say ruin their Steam Shield. Their Steam Shield is already ruined. It's already ruined, and they just stay up deep into the night and compete in every single week of ESL Americas. Scrolling down a little bit further, we just got an update. Harston did just 2-0 Hapsaya, and now we have Harston versus Bjorn in the round of 16. In that TVP, a bit of a team kill, unfortunately, but wish them both the best of luck. You know, it's the hashtag year of Harston, as it is every year, and that will help him there, I'm sure. As we scroll down a little bit further from there, we have Estrella versus Nightmare in a PvP. That could go either way. Another team kill. Maturina versus Maturina. Aye. The team kills are real. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As we scroll down towards the bottom of the bracket, we have another walkover. I was excited to see Cure go for a deep run and potentially a Cure versus Dark rematch. Cure and Dark, they faced off last night in the finals of ESL Asia, and this is a shame that Cure wasn't here this morning. Maybe a little bit tired. Again, he was playing last night in ESL Asia, so maybe just a little bit tapped out there, but yeah, that's brutal. So Cure, he doesn't show up. We have Zesty versus Future in the round of 16, leading into Australia and Nightmare. So this is most likely going to be like Maturina versus Maturina, like Future versus the winner of Australia and Nightmare. Aye. All the team kills. Meanwhile, our attention is focused up here in the northern portion of the bracket. Dark versus Strange. Again, that is where our attention lies for now. Here we go. Basically, play that one kind of horrible though. It was kind of free win if it wasn't greedy. If you're talking about the Alcyone game, I would say that considering what he had available, like it was a solid attempt there, just because if you remember, we had some insane Bailey connections that had like the most perfect connections on the Zealots. We also had a big link counterattack, crippling the economy and in a way forcing his opponent all in. Like, despite being greedy, despite being caught with his pants down, he made the best of it, is what I will say, if you're referring to Mixu on Alcyone. That's why, even though he lost that game, just because he lost doesn't mean he played badly. I would say he played well. More than anything, I'd say, yeah, I'd say that he played well on Alcione. Again, just because of the initial greed beforehand, it was an uphill battle regardless. Just because of the setup that was there. Berserker Esports, never heard of them. Oh, they've been around for a number of years. If you're a newer, maybe if you're a newer viewer to the scene, maybe you've never heard of Berserker Esports. They're mainly a European-based team. They've got players like Battle B, they've got Mixu, of course, they've got Demaga, some very old school players. So maybe if you're not endemic to the European scene, you wouldn't be familiar with them. They've had a couple of NA players. They had Holden for quite some time. I know Holden has since left Berserker because I think he was taking a bit of a break. But he's back. Holden is back and competing quite regularly. I know Berserker had him for a while. Berserker, I believe they currently have Foxer as well. Foxer and Dash. I think Dash is currently on Berserker. But yeah, for now, we are going to be getting things ready. Looks like lobbies are being made. Again, big shout out to the other casters covering this tournament as well. I know there's Beomorph out there. I know he's, for the past like 2 weeks, he's been casting a little bit more. Most likely in preparation for DreamHack Atlanta. DreamHack Atlanta's on the horizon. So just getting in form. There's Artosis, of course. Artosis is going to be covering some of these games. We have Enki in Spanish. And I think I saw Indy earlier. I think I saw Indy maybe covering some games. Not too sure. Or Rocklets in Portuguese. Or in Brazilian. Do love to see it. Meanwhile, it looks like the vetoes are taking a little bit longer here. Oh, I have confirmation that Dark is available, by the way, in case there was like another walkover situation like that. Dark is here, thankfully. Just connecting his vetoes against Strange. Just making sure everything is looking as it should. And yeah, I guess because they're taking a little bit of time here, we may as well go on a short break. Take this moment to get some water, hydrate Hydra's posture check as well, you know. No slouching in the chat. And we'll see you guys soon in a couple of minutes. Till then, enjoy the brutal OST. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that brutal OSC. We have returned. The vetoes are done. The lobby has been made, and we have our next Zerg versus Protoss matchup. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss representing Mystery Gaming. It is Strange. Here we go, and of course, Dark, he was on a tear last night. We casted Dark against quite a number of Protoss players. Specifically, we casted Dark last night against Stats and Nightmare, the two Korean Protoss players, and Dark did not hold back. He was wild. He was crazy. He was going for 12 full proxy hatches. He was going for Ling Floods. He was going for all-in after all-in, and just even on this map. Fun fact, I highly recommend checking out the VODs. If you weren't here last night, if you didn't watch ESL Open Cup Asia, Dark on Alkyone against Nightmare, he took his natural as this gold, but not as this gold on the right-hand side where it's safe, on the left-hand side. Out in the center of the map. It was wild, and he won that game, by the way. Like, Dark was dominant. We saw Nightmare trying to punish this. He couldn't punish the goal base, the more exposed goal base even on this side of the wall. Couldn't quite punish it, and in the end, Dark snowballed out of control. So some really good matches, some really intense games out of Dark. Just hyper aggression all night long. Here in the morning, hatch gas pool. Looks like maybe Dark, he's, you know, he woke up on the right side of the bed, on you know, the more sane, kind side of the bed, and we're gonna be seeing some more standard openers for now, at least for now. But maybe it's just too early, and maybe Dark, he just needs a little bit of time to wake up and to awaken even his inner animal. It's coming. I can feel it. But yeah, some really good games again. Recommend checking out the VODs. Meanwhile, for now, we just see a gate expand into the Cyber Core here, into the Stargate for Strange. Standard opener. Now, so far, every game that we've casted from Strange today, he has gone for a Void Ray first. Void Ray first into... So far, we've seen two things. Either an Immortal-based charge all-in, or I say all-in, an Immortal-based charge push and charge timing. That's maybe a better way to put it. And we also saw Glaive Adepts as well. We saw the Stargate into Void Ray into Glaive Adepts. So we've seen two different forms of aggression so far. We'll see if we see the same or something different from Strange. For now, Adepts are moving out. Adepts are going to be shading across the map. Something that Dark is known for and notorious for is Queen Defense. So we'll see if Strange can put that to the test. Because so far tonight, he has had an amazing job at just killing workers with oracles. It's been insane. You know, pulling apart his opponents. But now the Adepts are going to be threatening a shade towards the natural. Void Ray is on the way, as to be expected. He has been very fond of these Void Ray openers so far. Adepts, they will commit, and they're going to be able to get a drone. Not just one, they get a second worker as well, and a third. Almost a fourth. 3 drone kills for 2 Adepts. Pretty good trade here for Strange. As the third base is on the way, and Dark is moving out for a counterattack. Again, still unawares as to the opener, but now the Void Ray does reveal itself as it hunts down the first Overlord. And immediately, these Overlords are being pulled back home, being sent back to the bases here of Dark. Dark checking for a third here towards the linear location. Strange taking the triangular third instead. Is going to be able to keep it up and running for the time being. And we'll see where this takes us. Again, my eyes are on Strange. Will he throw down a Twilight Council or a Roper? Which will it be? As we have our first Oracle zooming across the map, we have a second Oracle on the way behind this. Meanwhile, we have 2 Queens here at the third. We have a Spore and a Queen at the natural, and we have a Spore in the main base. So far, we have our units in position. But that hasn't stopped Strange before, as he does get into the third. Does bypass some of those Queens. 3 workers going to be going down. Can we get a fourth? Oh my god. A lot of hull damage is dealt. 3 drone kills. Good damage so far, but this Oracle did sustain a lot of damage. And there it is. There's the robot. We now know what is going on. This should be Immortals into +1 and charge, into Archons. We've seen this many times already. We're going to be seeing it again. Meanwhile, Dark back at home, going for a safety Roach Warren. This Roach Warren was thrown down at around the 4-minute mark. 4-minute 20 mark even. Adepts they have arrived. They're focusing down even more drones. 4 workers already. Very nicely done here. They get 4 workers. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they dive into the main base as well. They get 1 more drone for their troubles. Pretty good damage so far. But, again, Dark did go for a safety Roach Warren. Lair is on the way, and we will have access to Roaches, which is exactly what we need here to defend against the eventual push. So Dark playing safe. Dark playing very safe here, which makes sense against a board rate based opener. That's what you want to be doing. Ooh, oh my god. The Oracle's once again taking a lot of damage. Down to 3 HP. 1 more shot from going down. Does escape, just barely. Whew. And Dark is going to be taking a 4th here towards the left-hand side. Spire on the way. Bold move here from Dark. Investing into that Spire. He has control of the Zelnaga. Curious to see what kind of direction Strange is going to be pushing it. Because, again, he's amassing his army. We have 1 Immortal. We have a 2nd Immortal on the way. Plus 1 in charge on the horizon. We're still waiting for the Temple Archive for those Archons. Strange is just building up his forces. Link Scout is going to be coming in. And we will get eyes on the saturation. We get eyes on the sentries. That is a tell. A bit of a tell. Upon seeing this, we should be aware that Stalkers shouldn't really be on the horizon. We get the lack of Stalkers here is letting Dark know, as he just crosses off what it could be in his mind. What this build could be from Strange. Did get eyes on the would-be 4th. Big scout from Strange actually coming in with Hallucination. He does get eyes on the Spire. Immediately, Phoenixes in production. 2nd Stargate as well. Double Phoenix production. Meanwhile, the Gateway Explosion is finishing. Templar Archives about to finish up as well. And Strange is soon going to be pushing. The Immortals have been spotted. Big scout here from Dark. Gets eyes on the 4th. Mutas are moving out. We're going to be investing into 14 Mutas. That's a big commitment there from Dark. But thankfully, because of the Mutas as well, we had to invest into these Phoenixes. This is going to be slowing down the push from Strange. But we're investing into Cannon. Strange, he's not pushing actually. Yeah, Stasis Traps is instead. Strange is getting ready for an assault. He's getting ready for Dark to come to him. Meanwhile, Dark has dropped up to 80. Oh, this is the problem. Dark, he has a solid economy here. Fully saturating his 4th, getting a 5th as well. Mutas, they come out, they do catch the Void Ray. Very nicely done. And yeah, Strange, he's on the back foot. Taking down an Adept, Shield Battery. Not enough Phoenixes to really contest against this. There we go, 4 Phoenixes have come out. Blink, still not done. Maybe trading a Muta for a Stalker. Meanwhile, at the same time, big Ling Roach counterattack. We get on top of the base, and the Nexus is going to go down. A big pickup. Again, despite Strange preparing for an attack, he was preparing here at his 3rd. He was not preparing at his 4th. He was caught completely off guard. 400 minerals down the drain. Dark taking a 6th. Double the base count of his opponent. Ay, ay, ay. As the 4th is being rebuilt. Plus 1 air attacks on the way. We're still amassing Phoenixes. How many Mutas? We have 28 Mutas. As we dive into the natural. Ooh, picking up another Phoenix. Again, without Phoenix range, Dark can micro against this. Oh, he picks up another Phoenix. Ay, ay, ay. Again, the micro is so on a knife's edge, and any mistake, and it's just too much. There we go, another Phoenix falls. We deny +1 air attack, and these Mutas, they're getting out of control. Picking up Phoenixes, Stalkers, anything and everything. We're down to 3 Phoenixes remaining. It's just not going to be good enough. There's no answer to these Mutas. Behind this, we have Corruptors on the way. And yeah, Strange is going for an all-in, going for a big counterattack. There's no turning back. That's a lot of Zealots. That's a lot of Archons. What do we have on the ground? Not much. Uh-oh. Base trade. The Mutas are coming back here. Lings go for a big counterattack. We do catch some of these Immortals. Catch the Archons. Nice magic box here as well. Archons are going to be going down at the same time, though. We have Zealot in the mineral lines. Drones are going down, but we shut down the Archons and the Immortals. Big pickoffs. Like, very expensive losses here. And these mutas, they reign supreme. The Skies are Army. The Lair's going to be going down, but we have Corruptors plus mutas, and there's nothing else here. The Lings, they take down the natural. Look at the Camper production. Zealots are being cleaned up. They go for the Spire, but they shouldn't get it. It's going to be close. Oh. Spire does live, and now we're going for a massive counterattack. We are up to 13 mutas. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. GG. A solid game there out of Dark. Investing into the mutas. Once the mutas got spotted, Strange, he had to shift gears, and unfortunately, he just, because of his build, he wasn't really ready for mutas. Oh. He wasn't really ready for those mutas, and he had to defend back at home. What I mean by that is because we invested into charge, and because we didn't invest into into Blink, of course, then we had that much less maneuverability to actually keep up with his opponent, with Dark. Dark just pulled him apart left and right. Not just with the mutas, but also with the Ling Roach counterattack, right? Killing the 4th base. That was another big moment. And eventually, Strange was forced all in. I want Dark's hyper-aggression all night long. Oh, you're an animal. Yeah. You can watch it, you know? We were watching last night. It was beautiful. And we are just going to be getting ready here for our next series. Oh, sorry, for our next game. Game número 2. Do we have any other updates here as we let some of our casters know what's going on? Just letting them know. And do we have any other updates in the brackets? I am curious, as we have an opponent. It looks like Skills versus Lambo is still ongoing, still mid-series. Looks like Max Pax just said that he's up against Shadown, so it looks like Max Pax did take down Wayne. Not too sure what the score was, but he did take down Wayne, and now he's up against Shadown in the quarterfinals. Shadown 2-0'd Full Heart Clem mid-series against Geralt. And Future is waiting for either Estrella or Nightmare in the quarterfinals as well. So the tournament is progressing. You know, we're getting towards the top 8. We're getting there. And then the semi-finals thereafter. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Blue Protoss player, representing Mystery Gaming. Down in the series, looking to fight back. It is Strange. Go. And Dark, for the time being, going for a hatch first. For the time being, keeping his drones back at home. Again, last night he was wild with his workers when it came to proxy hatches. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. My eyes are on this drone. Strange is going to be patrolling here at the natural base, forcing the unnatural natural out of Dark. He will be taking that expansion. Doesn't go across the map. Not this time. Not this time. As Strange, he does pivot back, does get eyes on the linear third. He's aware that Dark is going for a standard economic opener. He is aware. Just going to be confirming, making sure there's no additional gases, no fast roach warren, being as annoying as possible. As we settle into game 2. Likewise, Strange going for a gate expand. Now, this should be leading into a Stargate opener into a Void Ray again, but as we have already seen tonight, even if it is a Void Ray opener, from here we can go into a couple of different directions. We can go into some different deviations. So far, I mean, I say that. So far, we've only seen 2 from Strange. But there's much more than that. There's much more than that available. So we'll see. See what Strange goes for. Again, for now, just being as annoying as possible. Just being as annoying as possible. Forcing out an extra pair of Lings here. These Lings are going to be shutting down this probe so we can actually expand and take our natural base. Oh, Dark investing quite a bit, actually. Making an extra pair of Lings and keeping them hidden as well. Okay. Dark, you have my attention. Are we going to make another wave of Lings? For now, just forcing back Strange. Going to be going the long way around with his Lings, by the way. Avoiding the main scouting path. And Strange, that is not a Stargate. He's going straight for a Twilight Council. Okay, he's already pulled out of gas. This looks like 4 Gate Glaive Adepts. If he pulls back in, we could invest into a Dark Shrine. But for now, Glaive Adepts should be on the way. Speaking of, the first Adept does pull back. There we go, additional gateways are on the way. The Overlord is going to be dragging this Stalker out of position. The Ling's getting ready to dive in. And we're going straight for that Stalker. Okay, we pull back in time. We can. We do pull back in time. The Overlord is kept safe and sound. But again, these things are going to be threatening this wall. And Glaives are in production. Again, we did pull out of gas. We don't need that much gas to facilitate and afford 4 Gate Glaive Adepts. Roachhorn is on the way. Dark has recognized what is going on. Has recognized at least that it is a Twilight Council opener. Otherwise, we would have seen a Void Ray or an Oracle already. So Dark is preparing back at home. Now, he doesn't know if it's Dark Templar or Glaives or anything else. So we should be seeing some safety Spore Crawlers. Now, third base is being taken. Oh, right, of course, my apologies. It isn't just 4 Gate Glaive Adepts. I should have also pointed out that there's no Robo with this. So this is, yeah, the Strange special. I think Strange started this, I'm not entirely certain. But this is a variation of Glaive Adepts without the Robo, so which means it's more economic. Because you're saving money by not investing into the Robo, you can actually get a third base with this. And it means that you have to go across the map by ground. So here we go, the Glaive Adepts are moving out. Without a Robo, you can't reinforce, you can't warp in. Again, it's less committed here from Strange, which is why we can take our third base and transition into Blink Stalkers. Well, now the Adepts have arrived. Here we go, we are going to be threatening that third. We'll be able to shave off like a lot of these Lings. We go straight for the Queen. One Queen goes down. Don't get into the middle. We don't get any workers though. We get a second Queen. We commit to the Shade into the natural, but Dark had already pulled away. Did save his workers. He is still struggling to hold on behind this. It is not Blink, by the way. We're going for a Dark Shrine. Dark, can he keep up? Drones are going down. They're forced to fight. Oh my god, this is becoming too much. 14 plus workers going down. 14 drones. Ay, ay, ay. And Dark is forced all in. At this point, completely all in. And being forced all in against a player that's going for DTs, we could see an ace match. We could go to game 3 here. Again, there is no detection. There is a lair, to be fair, so we can afford an Overseer. There is a way forward. But Dark is taking too much damage. There it is. Overseer is on the way. Adept's going to be threatening a Shade. No shield battery here at the third base, which means Dark can go for the surround. Does dive on the army. We need the Biles. Oh, we're trying to lock this down. Trying to go for the Biles with the Lings. They do get completely cleaned up. Ay, ay, ay. And Dark, he is running out of steam. Stalkers are soon to arrive. Dark Shrine is done. We do have that detection, though. We do have the Overseer. 20 more Lings in production. Oh, Ravager gets picked off. Big snipe. And GG gets caught. It looks like we have too much. Oh my god, I was waiting for potentially a defensive DT, but we had detection anyway, and Dark, he pulls off the all-in. He was down to 26 drones. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played, Dark. He catches the Stalkers in the end. That was actually really close. Catches the Stalkers at the end there. No shield battery at the natural. No shield batteries at all, either at the third base or the natural. If we had a shield battery, if we had an overcharge, maybe the game goes on a little bit longer. Maybe we can afford an extra warp in. Strange barely didn't have enough. Strange did an amazing job when it came to getting harassing damage across the map. The follow-up, though, was lacking. Specifically, I guess to talk a little bit about what just happened there. Because there was an Overseer, because there was detection available for Dark, it meant that the tech that we had invested in, those Dark Templar, that wouldn't be useful defensively back at home. It would not be useful. If we had Blink, or if we had, again, even Immortal production back at home, then that would have helped there, and maybe we would have been able to hold on to our natural, at least our natural base. Alas, Strange wasn't able to do so, and with that, GG, Dark advances on to the quarterfinals. Congratulations. Congratulations, and he has his next opponents ready and waiting. It is going to be Dark versus Lambo. Wow. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting such a strong performance here, but scrolling down a little bit in the bracket, Lambo 2-0'd Skillus. Very powerful performance there. Very powerful play from Lambo. Taking down Skillus 2-0. And with that, we are going to be getting ready for our ZVZ quarterfinals match. It's Dark versus Lambo. Let's go. Let us go. Scrolling down a little bit further, I mentioned before that MaxFax is currently mid-series against Shutdown. Already mid-series. Unfortunately, there's no updates here on the bracket, but yeah, we have confirmation that he is facing off in a PvP. Which means, either, I mean, it's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg. Regardless, in the upper semifinals, it's going to be Dark, Lambo, MaxFax, and Shutdown. Most likely MaxFax. When it comes to the Zergs, it could go either way. I want to favor Dark, but Lambo, he's been looking very powerful in ZVZs recently, and I cannot count him out. Can never count Lambo out, so that could go either way. Do look forward to it. So Zergs and Protoss from the upper half of the bracket. In the lower half, this is where the Terrans are going to be thriving here. We still have Bjorn versus Hearthstone. We still have Clem versus Geralt. They're still duking it out. And we also have, towards the bottom here, still waiting for either Estrella or Nightmare. So no updates here. No updates yet. These are some longer series. Maybe going to the ace match. Maybe some longer later games. They are still underway. Still underway. And I just want to make sure, just need to make sure that we don't get left behind here. That we're able to keep up with these matches. Beautiful. And this also means that we can actually go for a small break. We can actually just calm things down here. Calm things down and go on a break. And yeah, we'll be back soon. We will be back soon in a couple of minutes with the upper semifinals. We shall see. So take this moment to hide your Hydra, stretch your riches, massage your Marines, drain your Disruptors, tuck in your Tempest, and we'll be back with Lambo versus Dark. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our first quarterfinals match of the night. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Zerg player, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And if you're in the chat, you know what? May as well. We're here in the quarterfinals. Usually we save predictions for the semis, but we will open up predictions for this series. Again, it's a special event, right? Lambo, for the first time in a very long time, going to be competing here in ESL Americas. Some people are asking in the chat, and for those that are curious, as far as I'm aware, I believe both Harstem and Lambo, the reason why they're both currently playing in ESL Americas this week is because they are currently in the Americas, because of DreamHack Atlanta. I believe they're already in the Americas, if I'm not mistaken. Quarterfinals. Best of 3. Dark versus Lambo. Just getting those predictions going. So if you're in the chat, place your bets because you have a couple of minutes to actually get your predictions in before they're closed, before they're locked in for this best of 3 series. Good luck. For now, Hatchgas Pool opener here from Lambo. Likewise, the same opener from Dark. Nothing too crazy, nothing too aggressive to begin with. Predictions open. Beautiful. So we are settling on in. For now, everything's looking normal. For now, no major signs of aggression. This should be leading into our third bases, but it's when we take our thirds that we can actually have a look at whether or not our players decide to cut workers, cut tech, or even rush into roaches. And we have seen a lot of decisive play from both Dark and Lambo over the past couple of weeks in ZVZ. I mean, always from Dark, but even from Lambo, we were able to catch him during Hope Straight Cup, for example, or even during the IEM qualifiers. Lambo, very willing at the drop of a dime to just cut workers and just mass lings. For now, does come out a little bit worse for wear. Dark gonna be able to force Lambo back. Does force him back for the time being. Again, third bases are on the way. We should soon be seeing Bailey Nest as well. And there it is, Bailey Nest turned down from Lambo. And likewise, we see the same from Dark. No one is cutting corners. Both players respecting each other. Again, if you want, you can try to take a risk and try to skip the Bailey Nest and go straight into roaches. But you're just asking for trouble at that point. So neither player that crazy. Dark coming in for a Link Scout, or at least checking. Does get eyes on the Bailey Nest. He is aware. Meanwhile, Lambo across the map getting some damage done here to this hatchery. Quite a bit of damage, actually. Link speed about to kick in. Likewise, a bit of a micro war here between these two links. And up! Ooh, we do trade 1 for 1. Dark barely going to be able to escape. We do have a wave of links on the way here from Lambo. He's droning up behind this. Meanwhile, Dark getting some safe bailings back at home. Roach Warren is thrown down behind the mineral line. Dark will have access to not even faster roaches. Lambo going for his own Roach Warren on time as well. Both players taking at around the same time. And both players droning as well. Lambo, he was threatening a counterattack, and he did force out bailings, but outside of that, both players are still just saturating their bases. No one is committing. Not yet. No one is committing yet. You can see Dark there trying to bait out one of those bailings. Doesn't quite get it. And both players, their goal here is to get eyes on the saturation. They need to make sure that the opposing player is in fact droning. And that's exactly what Lambo's doing with this Link Scout. Does get eyes on 4 workers here at the third. And an extra drone coming in. Tries to go for the bailing. Is going to be saved. And up! Ooh, Lambo asleep at the wheel there for a moment. Does lose one of his bailings. Nice pickoff. Not the biggest of deals, but getting a bailing here or there. It's definitely something we're looking for here at this stage of the game. As we see Dark once again threatening a counterattack. Lambo getting in position. Morphing in more bailings. Meanwhile, behind this Dark, he just droned. Just made a wave of workers. Likewise, so is Dark, unflinching. Sorry, so is Lambo, unflinching. Just droning up, fully saturating his third. And should soon be getting into Roach production as well. So basically, I love what we've just seen right now. We've seen both Lambo and Dark just like posture and puff off their chests with Ling Bane. And the entire time they've just been droning. They've just been chilling. Baneling's gonna be waddling on in. Up! Oh my god. Quick split there from Lambo. He goes strong. The Lings, they get in! They do get into the natural base. They get us around on one of the queens, and they should be able to get it. It's gonna be close, but one queen does go down. And the Lings, they get into the main base, confirming no Spire, Roach production, the gases. Even 5 workers went down to the Banelings here on the left-hand side. Dark getting damage done. And just like that, Dark, he takes an economic lead. And now we're getting to Roach v Roach. Now, Lambo did just invest into Overlord speed. We have Dropper Lords on the way. This is a good way to come back, a good way to do some counter damage. Banelings and Roaches can be dropped. They can be sent out. Overseer coming in, just making sure, likewise, that there is no Spire. Here it goes. Baneling drop across the map. Roaches are still amassing. Speaking of, Roach drop going over towards the main. Again, this has been very trendy, very popular amongst the European Zerg players to go for Drop Lord play like this. We'll see if Dark can keep up. But now he does have eyes on this.
Our forces are under attack.
Does have eyes on these Drop Lords, but he doesn't know whether or not it's Banelings or Roaches. They're coming in. There we go. He does pull back. Does pull away. Oh, he's going for the drones. No. Ooh, does catch 3. 3 workers will go down at the same time. Drop Lord towards the main base still hasn't arrived yet. We actually go for the 4th. As we're back, we still have 2 Banelings. Oh my god. We still have 2 Banelings, and oh, they will connect, taking down 7 drones in total. Very nice damage here from Lambo. Very patient as well. Again, in ZVZ, you have very limited anti-air, and yeah, we were able to get quite an amount of drones. And with that, Lambo, he retakes the lead. Roaches are pushing right through the center. Drop a load into the main. Dark having a hard time keeping up. Looks like a queen may go down. It will fall. A second queen as well. We're going to be lacking injects. This is brutal. As Lambo, he's pushing in. And can he snowball out of control? Heading towards the bases here of Dark. Gets an Overlord. Splitting up his forces. Going to try to threaten the 4th and the 3rd. But we see Dark going for the surround. He comes in from behind. He catches the army. A much better fight. Cleaning up so many of these Roaches. A much more efficient fight for Dark. Catching reinforcements as well. Lambo, he did an amazing job harassing. But here in the main fight, lacking a little bit. Caught off guard. And Darky's going straight for the hatchery. Straight for the 4th base. And Biles, they zone away the Roaches. Drones are going to be going down, and this base is going to fall. At the same time, we have a drop load into the main, but reinforcements, they will deal with it. And Dark, he's not happy with the 4th. He wants to go for the army. Ooh, does take some Biles to the face. Likewise, so is Lambo. And it looks like Lambo, he should have enough to defend. Meanwhile, Dark, is he going to he lets the base live? Oh my god. The 4th base does survive. Lambo going for his own counterattack. Ay, ay, ay. And Dark getting a little bit too ambitious there. The hatchery will survive for the time being. Can always just pick off, or just move out with a handful of Roaches, try to pick it off. Can always try to go for that. Meanwhile, the other difference here is that Lambo did invest into Burrow and Tunneling Claws. So he can regenerate his HP. Even if he doesn't harass with these Roaches, and he will, but even if he doesn't, he does have that much more maneuverability here with his army. Utility with his army is maybe a better way to put it. Here we go, Roaches towards the 4th base. Dark going to try to hold onto the ramp. But Lassie's out of position, drones are going down. Reinforcements should save the hatchery. But Lambo picks up another 4 workers. Lambo now with a big worker lead. Still going to extend that. And they're rotating around. Dark trying to keep up. Losing the Overseer. Meanwhile, these roaches being so annoying. Another 5 workers go down. Ooh. Wiles, they will be connecting, but Lambo, does he have enough? It looks like he does. He forces back the army, and unlike Dark, I believe Lambo should get a kill in this base. Yeah, hatchery goes down. Dark going for his own counterattack, or at least trying to. But Lambo is in position, has plenty of roaches to defend, and Lambo he backs off. Meanwhile, Dark, tit for tat. We're trading a base for a base, as he finally does get a kill in that hatchery. Meanwhile, Dark is racing back home. Does he have enough? Does he have enough to defend? So far he does. Let's force it back. You can see Dark trying to cut off this army. Likewise, Lambo coming into support. And Lambo, he will escape. Dark likewise backing off. Lambo, meanwhile, getting a backup Roach Warren in the main base. We have a Spire on the way as well for Mutas. Still mainly Roach v Roach, but Lambo taking up even further with the better economy. Makes sense. He has the spare resources to pull this off. Meanwhile, Dark is still stuck on just pure Roach Ravager. And he can still make this work. Dark does have a larger army because he has less workers. Does have more army supply here, forcing a cancel on the 4th. Lambo knows he cannot hold on to it. He cannot save it. Gonna be double expanding. Both players trying to retake their 4th bases. Spire on the way for Dark, but it's gonna be later than that of his opponent. Dark may have to go into Corruptors because of that. Because the Mutas should be revealed first. Up. Catching some Overlords. Overseer coming in, and Dark, he has the Changelings in the main, but he hasn't seen the Spire. He hasn't gone to the natural. Lambo with some with a bit of a misclick there, does kill one of his own Overlords. But Dark, we just need to go to the natural. He's so close. Even still has the Overseer here as well. The Spire is done. +1 air attack is on the way. Dark, he checks the 3rd base, soon to check the 4th as well. Changelings go down. Dark does miss the tech. Now, thankfully, because both players are more or less maxed out, we haven't invested into Mutas yet, which means the Spire of Dark is also finishing up at the same time, or in time. Not in upgrades, but finishing nonetheless. The game has settled, both players have banks. Lambo has the larger bank because he's had a higher worker count for longer. He does it the concave. Whiles they connect. Big Whiles there on those Ravagers. Lambo has to back off, getting into 19 Mutas behind this. That's a lot of Mutas, and they will have the upgrade advantage momentarily as well. Meanwhile, Lambo, he will be losing a hatchery. He's going to be losing 2. Lambo getting pulled apart here. Bases are going down, but Mutas are on the way. And they can make up for it. That could be the game-winning move here for Lambo. There it is, the Mutas have been revealed. They dive on top of the army, dive on top of the Ravagers. Oh, and Dark, he's going to be losing a lot here in the retreat. And Lambo, he's pushing. He is committing. Spores are on the way. They're trying to reposition. Dark has to turn and fight here and now. Forces back some of the army. Mutas, they engage. But Lambo, he can take a fight. Can take a fight. Dark, he should be able to win here on the ground. He's trying to force his way forward. Mutas, they do back up. To the safety of the Spores. Dark, he barely does hold. And remember, behind this, he did kill the 4th and the 5th base of Lambo. Lambo down to 47 workers. But still had the larger bank. Here's they pick off a Ravager. Still very close between both players. Mutas, they can shut down some of these Overlords. Dark with a better economy, and both players are they're trying to get into Hydraulic and Viper. Hydras are on the way. Looking at the unit counts, we have 33 Mutas against the 30 of Dark. Remember, Lambo also has +1 air attack. Oh, the Queen. Queen does get picked off. Jesus, there's so many mutas. And Dark, he can't really fight this. Not even with his own mutas. It's just not possible. He has to engage. Lambo, the higher muta count, the better upgrades as well. And Dark, he has to back off, losing a big chunk of his mutas in the process. And it looks like Lambo, he may just have too much. Hydras are on the way. They're coming in to reinforce. The Biles not quite connecting. And can Dark fight this back? He wins the fight on the ground and he forces back the mutas just barely. Lambo, he's doubling down on muta production. He invested into the hydrogen, but no, he doesn't care. Making nothing but lings and mutas. A bold move here from Lambo. Dark is Hydra count getting higher and higher. Well, some of these overlords do get caught. Bit of a miss rally from Dark. Meanwhile, counterattacking with his own mutas, there aren't any spores here. We'll get a Queen. We'll get a Queen at least. As they rotate over towards the third base, not much here to defend, but if they do stop at any moment, then Lambo will kill these mutas. We'll shut them down. Yeah, these mutas, there's no way out of this. Throughout all of this, though, we're massing Hydras. We've been amassing Hydras this entire time. Almost every muta goes down. But the Hydras, they have arrived. Do we have a Lurker Den? We don't. Uh-oh. No Lunkers. That means these Bailings, they have so much potential. Bailing speed is done. The Lurkers are necessary here against the ground army. Without them, these Hydras are so exposed. There we go. The Bailings are going to be rolling on in. The Hydras, they split. But the Bailings, they connect with the Hydras nonetheless. And it looks like we may just have too much. The mutas are thinning out, though. Transfuse. Clutch transfuse here from Dark. Keeping the Queens alive. Keeping enough Hydras alive as well. We are still on 21 mutas. 19. Stark is pulling back. And GG gets called. We committed too much to the mutas, and they do not snowball out of control. Dark takes game number 1. GG. That was a very intense game. Very intense game there towards the end, and Lambert was very committed. He had a very low worker count. I think it was 47, right? Like around 50. Double down on mass muta. It was then and there we had to end the game. Otherwise, he would be outscaled. I think main muta doesn't have that much longevity. Not in that kind of game state. Not against the army, the economy of Dark. And with that, Dark does take game number 1. But that was pretty close. That was pretty back and forth. They both had their moments. The Drop Lord play from Lambo. The Tunneling Claw Roaches. The initial muta switch as well. The base snipes. It was good stuff. Good stuff there from Lambo. Personally, I would not be surprised if we go all the way to the ace match here. Go all the way to game 3, but we'll see. See. It's on our players. It's on Lambo to fight back. I want to believe. I do want to believe. So we are loading into this. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. Top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the German Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambert. Go. ZVZs are upon us. They are here, and yeah, Dark. Both players going for a hatch first. Again, I don't expect any kind of major deviations early on. I expect hatch gas pull into a third, you know, just standard play initially. Then in the mid game, that's when things can start popping off. And I do think that Lambo's mid game was stronger. I'll be honest. Like Lambo, he had the better economy, he had the higher base counts, he was able to achieve a little bit more here than his opponent. But as the game progressed, that's when Dark was able to get a little bit more, was able to settle into the game itself. He was able to get into a solid Roach Ravager count, max out. And of course, in the lead up into the Muta versus Muta, Dark was able to look a little more comfortable. We'll see. We'll see if that continues to be the case here. We'll see if Lambert can fight back. I want to believe he can. I want to believe we can get an ace match. For now, again, everything is looking normal. Another thing that we could do here in the ZVZ is rush into the gold. I'm curious if Lambo is willing to be that crazy to try to take that gold base early on, which we have seen in ZVZs before. I know a laser is more than willing to do so. I'm sure Lambo as well. So now link speed is on the way for both players. And we are just droning. Again, Alkiona is a larger map, has a long rush distance by ground, has a lot of bases to be taken. This does lead, or does lend nicely towards a later game that is usually applicable to a lot of these other matchups. I don't know how applicable that is to ZVZ, just because sure these bases are very defendable, but it's not like we have additional like SimCity to use to our advantage here, or for Zerg players to use it to their advantage. I'm curious if we try to go into faster mutas. I wouldn't be opposed to faster mutas here on a map like this. As for now, Lambo throws down his Bailey Nest. Dark has money for his own, but he isn't. I see Lings on the way, a couple of drones as well. But yeah, Dark skipping the Bailey Nest. Uh-oh. He's going to be hiding some of his extra Lings here, but I think, yeah, he's massing Lings. He's going for a big Ling flood. No Bailey Nest for good reason. We're going straight for the Roach one instead. Dark, his goal here is to be hyper-aggressive. Hyper-aggressive, forcing back Lambo, keeping him on the back foot while he gets into Roaches behind this. Oh boy. Now, if Dark trades too poorly, he will trigger a counterattack, and Lambo can get out of control. So Dark has to be very careful here with his Lings. Very careful here. Bailings are morphing in. Dark trying to find a way into the natural, threatening the queens. So far, good splits from Lambo. Keeping up. Is Bailings alive? Ooh. So far, so good. Lambo, he does hold on to his bases. But again, Dark isn't looking to kill. He isn't looking to kill the queens or to really get too much done. He's just keeping his opponent busy while he gets into Roaches. Roaches are on the way. Worker counts are comparable, but Lambo, he will have a better economy. He is droning a little bit harder. There is Roaches on the way. Dark now droning. And ideally, he would have liked to have forced out a little bit of extra Ling Bane from Lambo. As it looks like he's going to get the queen. Up! Barely doesn't. Some of the Lings, they do get caught out. Nice catch from Lambo. That's Dark. Threatens a dive to the natural, does pull back. Does not get anything. Doesn't get the queens. Doesn't get any drones. Lambo doing well. Does get eyes on the Roaches, and likewise Lambo getting to his own Roach production as well. A slightly better economy. Just slightly. As we are just done with the Ling Bane portion, now getting into Roaches. Now getting into Roach v Roach. Dark already pushing out. Looking at the unit count here, we have a pretty comparable army size for Lambo. It looks like Dark is just posturing. He's just droning heavily behind this, trying to get his economy up and running. No one investing into a lair yet. both players, yeah, were committing. I was like, we should have seen a lair by now. Hatch tech from Lambo, hatch tech from Dark. It's all about the Ling Roach. Let's go. Bailings are on the way. Lambo, he's going to be committing. And Dark did make an extra wave of drones. Can he hold? Can he survive without Bailings? This is going to be a tough hold for Dark. Again, these things, they're going to do such a great job here at just buffering for the army of Lambo. He knows he has a massive advantage. It's pushing on forward. Lings, they get a full surround as well. And Dark just cannot keep up with this. Bailings going to be rolling on in. The Roach army on the right-hand side gets completely cleaned up, and we're going for the surround. Lambo, he's breaking through into the third base. Shutting down the Roaches, getting us up with the Queens. And this hatchery is going to go down. Dark being punished for skipping that Bailey nest, being punished for his build, for his opener. He's trying to break free, but GG gets called, and Lambo, he fights back, taking game number 2. Let's go. Also, I apologize. I missed out on the score. I did forget to add the scoring game. I'm waking up, Papi. I'm waking up. I'll fix it for the next game. We're tied up 1-1. 1-1. GG. Again, Dark trying to be a little bit cheeky there, trying to cut corners, rush into Roaches, and try to force his opponent to overcommit. And Lambo did overcommit, and he made use of it. Just made nothing but Lings, Roaches, and Banelings. So able to break on through. Again, without defensive Banelings, the Lings of the opposing player does so much here to support Roaches, to get surrounds, to lock down the army, to buffer, to support. And Dark without Banelings, there was no way for him to hold that. No shot. Now we're getting into the ace match. Here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Equilibrium. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming, being forced into the ace match. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the German Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion, tying up the series 1-1 in the last game. It is Lambo. And this time, we should have Bailey Nest from both players. We're loading into Equilibrium, another quite large map actually. A lot of bases to be taken. There's the gold base as well, which could come into play. I'm curious if anyone feels adventurous enough to rush into that gold as a natural or as a third. Is very possible to take here in a ZVZ. I mean, difficult to hold on to, but if you can pop off. Speaking of, Lambo, where are we going? Speaking of the gold base, Lambo, he's going to be sending out his drone, and he is going right for the gold. Let's go. Lambo taking the initiative, and we'll see if Dark can punish this. Now, when it comes to the gold base, specifically on Equilibrium, this usually in ZVZ leads into an all-in, leads into just mass aggression from the Blue Zerg player, from Lambo. Just because he's going to have a boosted economy, a better economy than that of Dark, and you want to make use of it in a mirror matchup. You want to make use of it as quickly as possible and keep the pressure on and go for a Ling Roach rush, essentially. That's typically where this goes, especially with the Rich Vesting Gas Geyser. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. Like we've seen Dark do this, Lambo do this before. We'll see if he'll do it again. Meanwhile, Dark going for a Hatch Gas pull. Overlord is moving out. He's going to eventually get eyes on the lack of expansion, and that is going to be the tell that there is the gold base instead. The Overlord is floating on in. Gold base is being taken. I'm loving these Lings that are going to be skirting around the edge of the map towards the side of Dark. And Dark, he does confirm the lack of expansion. Second Overlord comes in, and he will get eyes on the creep. Bailey Nest is already on the way here, so Lambo going for a Ling Bane bust here, already amassing Lings in the main base, waiting for Ling speed to kick in. Lambo committing. Dark going straight. Okay, he's going for the third base. He's droning. Where's the Bailey nest? No, okay, we do have a Bailey nest here from Dark. He needs it because, mate, the Lings, they've been revealed. This is a late Bailey nest, by the way, from Dark. I do think he wanted to be greedy, and I think he assumed that it was going to be a Roach Rush. I don't blame him. I mentioned it at the time that typically this does lead into Roach Rushes. But this Bailey nest is late, and Lambo, he's already here. And is this how it ends? Is this how it ends as we do dive towards that natural base? The Lings are getting on top of the Queens. Defensive Lings are on the way. Bailey nest still in production again. It was delayed. And Lambo, he's knocking down the Queens one after the other. Breaking into that main base. Doesn't want to waste the Bailings. Ooh, good connections here. The Bailings of Dark are gonna be denied, but is Lambo running out of steam? Dark, can he hold? So far, no Bailings for either player. Dark with Bailings on the low ground, so exposed, investing into that third base. Lambo still all in, and there it is, that's 7 Bailings in production. But Dark will have defensive Bailings of his own. It's gonna come down to the control. Will come down to the micro. We can't waste Bailings from either player. We can't waste them. Up. One Bailing is denied, trading 1 for 1. Bailings of Lambert gonna be rolling on in. Oof. Trying to get some trades here. It looks like a couple of Bailings are gonna get picked off. We're going for the mineral line. We're going right for the main. Waddling into the main base. There's no queen. Lings are backing off. Ooh, and we do get 7 worker kills at the same time. A big Ling counter attack here at the goal base. Lambo being forced back. Being forced back home. Dark buying a lot of he's buying a lot of time here. A lot of breathing room. Still very intense. Dark with a better economy. With soon to be a larger army as well. Lambert isn't making use of that goal base. Trading 3 Lings for 1 Bailing. Again, Lambert is running out of steam. Oh god. Has to be so careful with his movement here. Oh no! Oh my god. As he does take a Bailing to the face. And with that, I do think that Dark should be able to hold here. Plenty of Bailings are left over, are available. Yeah, and Dark forces this back. Lambo, no mining whatsoever at the gold. Lings, they flood into the main base as well. Lambo, he has nothing left. Drones are going down, one after the other. And Dark, he has done it. He has held. Things are looking terrifying at the start. They were looking terrifying in the beginning. But Lambo wasn't able to pull it off. Oh, the Bailing. It's going to be 12 worker kills here. Lambo is down to 2 drones. 2 workers is all he has left. GG gets called, and Dark will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Oh. GG, well played. That was a little bit scary. Again, the Bailings of Dark were late. The Queens went down. If you remember, though, Lambo, with his first 4 Bailings, he did waste 2 Bailings on the Queens. I don't think that was ideal. I do think we needed to keep those Bailings alive a little bit longer to either trade with Lings or with the drones. From there, Dark was able to stabilize, he was able to hold on, get into his own Bailing production as well, and eventually defend. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark. My condolences to Lambo, but wasn't a bad series. Was very back and forth, very entertaining. GG. GG, well played. Ooh, I hope Lambo isn't feeling too bothered by this series, just because, you know, Dark is one of the best Zerg players in the world. Lambo held his own. Held his own for a time there against Dark. As Dark advances on into the next round, where I believe he's going to be facing off against Max. Let's go. Let us go. As we just try to set that up. One moment. Okay, there we go. As we do have a couple of updates here from the top. Oh, speaking of, big shout to Renegade X Studios. Oh my god, thank you so much for not just rating, but hope you had a good time casting. I did notice you were live earlier. From the beginning of the tournament, you were casting, so hope you had a great time. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great coverage, and were able to watch some really good games there over on your own channel as well. Big shout to Renegade, again, a fellow English community caster. Thank you for the raid. Do appreciate it. And good night as well. I'm assuming that you're going to be getting some rest. I'm assuming. But yeah, good to see you again. Good to see you again. Always great to see Renegade covering some StarCraft. Ooh. As we, of course, have some updates to go over. Again, MaxPax did 2-0 shutdown and is going to be facing off against Dark in the upper semifinals. Scrolling down a little bit further, looks like Nightmare did take down Estrella 2-1, did go all the way to the ace match, and Nightmare is currently mid-series versus Future in a PVT. Meanwhile, Beyond 2-0'd Hearthstone. My heart goes out to Hearthstone. It's his year though. It's okay. It's his year, and that's what matters. As Beyond did 2-0 Hearthstone, Clem 2-0'd Geralt, and we have a TVT in the quarterfinals, Clem versus Beyond, currently facing off in that round of 8. Now, of course, we're going to be focusing on Dark versus MaxPax from here. If it's a fast series, we may be able to catch the lower semifinals of Clem, Beyond, Nightmare, and Future. We may be able to catch them. Otherwise, we're nearing the end of the broadcast, and we will do Dark versus MaxPax into the finals. One or the other. So we only have a couple of series left. A couple of series remaining. And we will soon get into it. But for now, our players are conducting their vetoes. Vetoes are underway, so we're going to take this moment to take a break, to, again, stretch our roaches, to refill our water, to take a moment here, and wake up a little bit. I'm still so tired. I slept for, how many hours did I sleep? I think I slept for 4 hours. 4 hours today, 4 hours. I'm probably going to try to take a nap after ESL Americas. I'll try. We do have another cast in 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours. Which means by the time this tournament finishes, it's probably going to be in 4 hours. So I can maybe nap for 2. I can ideally nap for 2 hours, and then we can get back into our next cast. So that's going to be the plan. It's going to be the plan here. We'll see you then. For now, take this moment, get some water, get some food, get some snacks, and we'll see you guys for our first semifinals match for Dark versus MaxPax. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of ESL Open Cup Americas number 205. And we have a banger of a series here. The Europe versus Korean matches continue as spawning is in the bottom right-hand corner of Site Delta. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left, we have as opponent, we have the Danish Protoss, the best Protoss in all of Europe, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. So MaxPax already popping off here with, let's go! MaxPax starting off with a hatch block, and you know what that means. If you were here last night, you saw plenty of it in ESL Open Cup Asia. In all of the ZVPs that we saw, Dark would in some way go for a proxy hatch, and we are doing the same here, going for a hatch block across the map. It's going to be hatch first here from Dark on the low ground into the hatchery, covering the natural base of MaxPax. Let's go. Again, if you've been familiar with the ZVPs of Dark, you would know that he has been very fond of this. Very fond here, and we saw this a lot last night as well. MaxPax is going to be pulling some of the boys, chronoing out that first Zealot, and forcing the cancel on this hatchery. Again, this is just a way to force some inefficiencies out of MaxPax, to force a delay on the expansion, a delay on the economy, and get back into a standard game. Yeah, MaxPax taking this very seriously, of course, pulling all those boys. Probe is coming back home, Zealot is on the way, and we should force a cancel, hopefully not a kill. Ooh, let's do cancel that hatchery. Dark's keeping this drone alive. He could go for another block, by the way. So you have to be careful. You have to keep an eye on Dark. Oh my god. So he does threaten a dive into that natural. You can see Dark dipping in towards the main. Going for potentially a gas steal. But the probe is in position. There we go. MaxPax fully aware that the gas steal was possible. So the whole position probe denies the gas being taken, and we can now take it for ourselves. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Dark behind this, going for a hatch gas pool variation into his third base. Link speed is on the way. Mainly after link speed, we're pulling out of gas. Now, the downside here is that this small moment, there's a window here where there's not much to defend. The Adept does go straight for that natural base, and we should be getting one drone kill. Yeah, one worker goes down. Links are arriving, and we should be able to shut down the rest of the Adepts and the Zealots as well. Oh, we got this round! We had us round for a moment. Two workers go down, but we shut down at least the Zealot. Got a very tense moment here for Dark. The Adepts, they have one-shot potential. Two Adepts do one-shot a worker. But for now, Dark does maintain control of his natural, does force his back for the time being. Meanwhile, we have a Void Ray first. Let's go. Void Ray opener here for MaxPax. Drone is still alive in the main. Oh, predictions are about to close, by the way. I mentioned before. I should have mentioned before. Predictions, they're closing. Place your bets. With this Void Ray, though, we're going to be hunting down the Overlords. We're going to be keeping Dark in the dark, and behind this, we can go for Glaive Adepts. We can go for an Immortal Base all-in, Twilight Council, Stargate, or second Stargate into a Fleet Beacon. We have options. I can't believe this drone is still alive. Finally, it gets hunted down. Overlord as well. And there it is. Twilight Council before third base. A very aggressive variation here. It's going to be Glaive Adepts. We have a Gateway Explosion. 3 gates for the time being. We should be seeing a 4th Gateway soon. Alongside the Twilight Council. Again, no Forge. This should be Glaive Adepts, but we'll see if we go in a different direction. On top of that, as the Links have arrived, they should be shutting down this probe. No Robo. This is without a Robo, should be just warping in the depths. Walking across the map. Void Ray does wander into the natural, but that's a bit of an overextension. One more. Oh my god, one shot away from going down. The Void Ray does escape. Barely. Barely does make it out. There it is. Glaives is in production, as we mentioned before. We did not throw down a 4th gateway, so this is a very economic variation. MaxPax, of course, is being aggressive, true. And there it is. There, I was like, there should be a 4th gateway. 4th gateway is on the way. But without the robo, it means we have extra resources to spend on this third. Straight to the third base, straight into the follow-up. The next step, essentially. Adepts are going to be harassing, but the Adepts, they're not designed to end the game. They're designed to cripple the economy and allow MaxPax to get into a better economy, to get into Blink, +1, Immortal production afterwards. Here we go. Void Ray is moving out. There's that Forge we were talking about for +1, again for that next step. Void Ray has arrived, cleaning up whatever creep we can. And we're just waiting for MaxPax to pull the trigger. There we go, just an extra warping of Adepts before we move out across the map. Now back at home, Dark, he's got a decent link counter, he already has a Roach one. Roaches are already popping out as well. He's pretty well set up for this as the Oracle gets in, and we're getting some drone kills. Queen's not quite in position. We get 5 worker kills here at the third base. Very nicely done. Yeah, the Queens, they were distracted by the Void Ray. Speaking of the Void Ray pushing forward here on top of the Queens, we lose it. We do lose it though. Void Ray goes down. They do shade into that third base and get 1 more worker kill, or 2 more even, before being cleaned up. And just like that, Max actually takes a worker lead. There's that +1 and Blink on the horizon, Immortal production as well. We are ready for a Roach counterattack. So Max, he's sitting pretty. He's ahead in workers. He's soon to be ahead in tech even. Dark has to make a choice, and Dark, he's not droning. It's a tough choice to make. He's making a 4th base, yes, but only for Larva. He lost too many workers. He is opting not to re-drone, not to resaturate. He's doubling down here on Ling Roach Ravager. Now, we do get eyes on some of these Roaches. The Lings are being kept behind. We do need to try to lure MaxPax in. Second Forge, Rolex Bay, MaxPax, he's teching. Uh-oh. He thinks he's safe. MaxPax is teching. Meanwhile, Dark is all in. Completely all in at this point. Roach speed about to kick in, +1 range, finishing up in a couple of seconds as well. Now we have noticed cannons and shield batteries are on the way. But we don't care. We bust into the natural. Lings are flooding in. The Roach Ravager heads towards that third, forcing back the army, slowing it down, getting himself to some of the stack defense. And again, Lings, they have busted in. We do have the overcharge though, keeping the units alive. MaxPax, can he hold? Probes are going down. It looks like the overcharge has run out of the natural. And we have broken the third base. No cannons, no shield batteries. MaxPax was not ready for this. He was not expecting it all in. He was being too greedy. Thinking a little bit too far ahead. Instead of looking at what was coming at him here and now. Third base has been broken. The natural's still up and running. Reinforcements are on the way. There is still 1 Immortal. But Dark, he wants it. He wants the Immortal. As he does start a step forward. Again, overcharges on cooldown. Reinforcements are coming out. Does have to be careful about those reinforcements though. Dark, he does pivot back towards that natural base. Immortal! It's gonna go down. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, when it came to MaxPax there, he did a good amount of damage. He did very well for himself, killing as many workers as he did. And he had a really good transition afterwards, but it was just maybe being a little bit too greedy there. Again, we pointed out that he went for the second Forge, went for the Bay. Oh, good. Almost went for the wrong lobby. Went for the Bay, was fully walling off, was probing up. No static defense, no cannons or shield batteries were ready for the initial attack. There was 1 shield battery at the natural, nothing at the third. The third was just barren. It was just so exposed, so vulnerable. And yeah, it just took MaxPax a little bit too long to realize what was happening. Just a little bit too long to recognize the all-in that was coming. And with that, Dark does take a 1-0 lead. Here we go. So loading into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Danish Protoss. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, the best Protoss in all of Europe, it is MaxPax. And spawning. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing CranKy Gaming, leading the series 1-0, it is Dark. Go. Stark does have that 1-0 lead here. One more win is all he needs to advance on to the grand finals. But last game was also a very unique game. Remember, MaxPax, he went for a Void Ray opener into Glaive Epps into a third base. Was quite aggressive and quite in the face of Dark there. But I can't imagine he's going to do that again, as Dark this time is going to be able to expand here at his natural location. This is something very unique to Dark. I don't know if you saw, but he was hiding the drone. He was hiding the drone here towards the north, waiting for the probe to slip into the main base. And he was able to expand on location. Meanwhile, we're going for a hatch first into a hatch block once again. We're trying to. MaxPax does have a probe on the low ground. Up! And he is in position. Dark, he misses the hatchery. Ay. So close yet so far, which means this is a delayed spawning pool. But he gets the gas steal. Gets the gas steal in the main base. But again, this spawning pool was delayed because we were banking up resources to go for the hatchery. So a slight delay here for Dark. As MaxPax this time is able to get his natural up and running. Here we go. So we're settling into a bit of a more standard game. I say a bit of a more standard game. Again, Dark, I would say, is slightly behind, just because of how cheeky he was trying to be, but only slightly. Nothing too major, as he's taking his third base. We have our Stargate opener as well. The question becomes, is MaxPax going to go Void Ray again, or is he instead going to go for an Oracle? Now, Dark is notorious for his Oracle defense, with his Queen movement and Queen control, so I wouldn't be opposed to going for a Void Ray again, and this time going for something different. We don't have to go Glaive Epps every time. We can even have a standard follow-up, for all we know, for all Dark knows. For now, gas is being taken here at the natural to make up for the lack of gas in the main. A couple of Lings are in production to defend against the Adepts that are moving out. And Dark is coming in for a scout. Again, he hasn't seen anything yet. And, it is not a Void Ray first. We're going for a Phoenix instead. It is going to be a Phoenix opener. This has fallen out of fashion. It's been a while. Since we've seen Phoenix-based openers. It was spotted and confirmed by Dark. Dark has plenty of practice against this. Hero did popularize this at the start of the year, going for one Phoenix, then into Oracles, and then the Phoenix can dive in, pick up a Queen, and then the Oracles can go ham in the mineral line. That's typically what we want to be going for here. So MaxPax going a little bit old school with this. Quote unquote old school. Yeah, early 2023. As the Overlord is going to be hunted down. Queens should be getting in position. Spores are on the way. And MaxPax is taking that third. Dark does confirm it. But yeah, the addition of this Phoenix does mean that this Oracle Harass has more attacking power here, is a bigger threat. Just because they can work together to kill even more workers. So Dark has to be very careful. So he's just saturating his bases, likewise so is MaxPax. Behind this standard transition, I love that MaxPax is hiding his tech, by the way. Throwing down his Twilight Council and his Forge in the natural, not in the main. It's a standard transition, but it is a hidden transition. As there it is, we pick up a Queen. Queen is lifted, we get 2 worker kills, but not much else. Thankfully, we're able to pull back in time, and we had a second Queen in position. So, not a bad pickoff. Here we go. Max Packs arriving with the depths as well. So the depths have arrived. Picking up a couple of tumors here between the bases. They get a drone. 2 workers even. A drone? What? A tumor. Sorry. My brain. 2 tumors even. As Max actually is just dipping in between the bases, getting eyes on things, gets eyes on the would-be 4th. Meanwhile, Dark is just droning. Just droning on up. Eventually, this should lead towards a Roach Warren, but that is a Baneling Nest instead. Interesting choice. This looks like Dark wants to go into Hydras. It could also lead into Mutas, but I'm going to be assuming it's going to be Lingbane Hydra here from Dark, which does do very well here against Blink Stalker-based compositions. So Dark, he's reading this well. You know, he's assuming that his opponent isn't really going to be investing into Glaive Adepts or Charge Lots or anything like that. Going into Blink Stalkers. Blair is about to finish up, and we should be heading towards those Hydras. Okay, so Spire is still on the table, true, but we'll see. As things, they do head into the mineral line, and we are out of position. Probes are going down. Ay, ay, ay. The Adepts, they do go for a big counterattack, but alas, there are Lings back at home as well, and they will be cleaned up. The Adepts go down. 4 dead probes. Again, Maxax, he was getting ready to push in on the left-hand side, and he wasn't able to, as he does pull back home. Infestation Bit is on the way for a Hive Tech. With access to Hive Tech, it means that it isn't just going to be Hydras. We could go into Lunkers as well. So Lings are going to be threatening a dive. Actually, no, it's been a while. I know I'm putting a lot of emphasis on like Hydras and potentially Lurkers, but because there's no Hydra left and we should be working towards a Hive, there is a big chance here. I haven't seen Dark do this in a long time. Last season was the last time on Ancient Cistern. He would do it on Altitude as well. This could be pure Ling into Hive into Ultra. Ling Bane into Ultra here against Protoss. It's something that Dark used to do a lot on Ancient Cistern last map pool, just because of how large it was. And Hecate is similar in that sense. There it is. Ooh, a couple of these Stalkers are going down, and meanwhile at the same time, mass Ling harass here towards the right hand side. We do not get in though. Good positioning out of Max Packs. But here, the goal essentially is Dark amasses pure Ling Bane, and he keeps the Protoss on the back foot, keeps them busy while Dark techs up. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Ultras. Let's go. I haven't seen Dark do this in the new map pool, I'll be honest. I haven't seen him do this in a long time. Here we go, Ling Bane gonna be rolling on in. We're gonna be shutting down this base. The third, there's only a handful of units here. Shield battery is not done. A cannon gets shut down. There are a lot of Stalkers running in though. Looks like we will force back the Ling Bane. Oh, never mind. We commit. We just commit. The Lings, they come in for a surround as well. Stalkers, they're getting picked off one after the other. Far too many Stalker kills. Adrenal is on the way. More Banelings in production as well. Dark just not letting up on the pressure whatsoever. The Oracles, they need more time. We're still just amassing Oracles, and we get a surround on the base. The base is going to go down. Dark shutting down the Nexus, and it is going to be killed. Dark, he backs off from here. Baneling's going to try to waddle in. Connecting with the Zealots. Trying to at least. To pick up another one of those Stalkers, and Dark, he's still amassing Lings, by the way. Still doesn't even need the Ultras. Achieving so much with this. Now, this is a little bit scary. Dark is on a low drone count, but there we go. Now he's droning up. He gets us around the +2 melee Lings all over these Stalkers. And they get into the middle line. Probes are going down. This is just becoming too much. Far too much damage. We're going for the third. There are cannons. Okay, Max actually does pull back in time. But he takes down the shield battery, and this is too much. Oracles will force this back. Another base is being taken on the right-hand side. Again, Dark just now going to be droning up to 60 workers, and there's that Ultra Cavern. Looks like we do need it in the end. The wall! The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they get in! Into the main, into the natural. Probes are going down, and again, the goal here is we're just keeping MaxPax busy. I mean, I say busy. I mean, he's struggling to survive. Massling. Oh my god. The Oracles are out of energy once again. We get a surround. Zealots go down. Banelings are rolling in. And this time we will get it. We will get the mineral line. The Zealots, no! Don't like this. They rush into the Banelings. And that's going to be 39 dead workers. Again, we have the Ultra Cavern on the way, but we may not even see an Ultra. GG gets called, and Dark, he gets a 2-0 win here, eliminating MaxPax from the tournament. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. That wasn't even Dark's final form. Again, he still had the Ultra Cavern on the way, but because he was finding so much success, because he was dealing so much damage with the Lings, he stayed on it. He stuck to the Ling Bane because it was just so successful for Dark. He's like, you know what? I didn't even need to invest into my later tech. I'll just stick with the Ling Bane for now. And then once MaxPax started holding a little bit, then it's like, okay, I'll back off. I'll make some drones. I'll throw down the Ultra Cavern, but still just snowballed out of control. GG, well played. Dark advancing on to the grand finals. Does advance on, and does he have an opponent ready and waiting? That is the question. As it looks like we have the lower semifinals underway. Oh my god, a bit of an upset here. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Scrolling on down, we have Clem taking down Björn at 2-0. Not just that, but Future. Future, he took down Nightmare 2-1. Very impressive. Very impressive result there from Future. Future having a deep run here, representing the Americas in this tournament. And yeah, we have a TBT. Clem versus Future. Winner goes up against Dark in the finals. And Clem versus Future, they are currently underway, being covered by CranKy. CranKy is casting that over in Spanish. Let us quickly have a look. Potentially Rocklets as well. No, Rocklets, he was with us. Show me CranKy. Just want to try to dip in and get eyes on the series score to see if they're in game 1, game 2, or game number 3. And big shout out to CranKy. I have to wait for the ad. It looks like Clem is up 1-0, so they're in game 2. Clem is up 1-0 versus Future. So Future fighting right now to force the ace match. Oh, apparently there was a proxy. Let's go. Apparently there was a proxy. But yeah, we need a moment here to get things ready, to set things up. Set things up. But yeah, for now, I guess we're going to be going on a short break. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. Currently, Clem versus Future are underway. I don't think they have an English caster. I think all the English casters were in the same series, like ourselves, Pig, Beomorph, and Artosis. So that's a bit of a shame that there wasn't English coverage down there. But again, CranKy is casting it in Spanish. So if you want to enjoy a Spanish caster and a Spanish stream, he's got you covered with Clem versus Future. If there's an ace match, we will jump into that. We will be jumping in mid-series. Otherwise, it's going to be Clem versus Dark in the finals. I wish Future the best, though. Big fan of Future. I hope he can force that ace match and can go toe-to-toe with Clem. Future has already had a really good run here tonight, making it this far. So I wish him the best. For now, though, going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have our next series. See you then. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of ESL Open Cup 205 Americas. It has been an intense tournament. We've had some big names here tonight. We had Harsum, Skillus, Lambo. A lot of the Europeans did rock up here more than they usually do. But alas, we have whittled away and we are down to 2 remaining players, and here is one of them, the best Terran in all of Europe, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player from South Korea, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And if you are in the chat, predictions are open for the next couple of minutes, so place your bets while you can, because we won't have too much longer here to place them on who you think will take this, either our Terran or our Zerg. Again, not the first time these two have faced off. They face off very regularly when it comes to ESL Open Cup Americas, and I'm actually curious, the last time we casted these two play, I want to say Clem was the victor, but they do typically go back and forth here, and it's not clear-cut. And we have the technology. Let me just double check. I'm curious, because again, I might just have some recency bias here. As we're loading into the finals, and oh boy, nah, yeah, they're good for good reason. Oh my god, that is insane. So in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay. The last 6 times these two faced off in best of series, best of 3s, best of 5s, Clem has won every single one. It's been a long time since Dark has taken a series here, and in general, Clem is the favorite player. So, yeah, it makes sense. My feelings made sense now. I've been I've been validated. We usually see Clem coming out victorious, but Dark does make him work for it. You know, Dark does take maps, and coming into this, Dark is on fire. He did win ESL Open Cup Asia last night, so I want to believe that he can take it here to Clem and maybe even become a back-to-back champion as well. I'm here for it. Here we go. So now the Reaper has arrived, going to be threatening that mineral line. Third base is being delayed so heavily, actually. Dark desperately trying to expand, but no! The denial of the gas geyser, and we're going to be getting a kill on this drone. A very nice pick off here by Clem. Very delayed third base to Dark here as a result. Coming back in with that drone, and he should finally be able to expand, but that is a big delay. And a kill on a drone, a really good start here by Clem. Very strong start by a Terran player. Behind this, we're getting to a third CC for Starport. A very economic opener here by Clem. Good for the add-on stuff, going for those Hellions. And it should be a Starport as a follow-up as well. So, yeah, pretty standard stuff. Very economic play here from Clem. And Dark, likewise, going for a standard opener himself. Hatch gas pool into a third base. Oh, and that is not a Starport. That is a second Rax. Okay, we are going to be spicing things up here. It is going to be a 3cc 2-1-1 from Clem with some Cyclones in the mix as well. Clem, this is not your standard 3cc 2-on-1. Okay, I mean, especially with the reactor factory. This is very, very, very much so something that has been popping up in more recent times in the more recent patch. Very Cure-esque. Cure does play similarly to this. Similarly. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. Again, Stim is on the way. We should be getting a reactor on that Rax. I wonder if we're going to be add-on swapping after we get the 2 Cyclones out. And it looks like we will be going for the add-on swap. Okay, this makes sense. So a bit of a delayed Marine production. We are going to have not just Hellions, but also Cyclones to shut down Overlords here for Clem. He's going to have a more active force while he builds up his Marine army. Meanwhile, Dark going for a very fast lair. Okay, very fast lair. We have 3 gases in production. If it was 2 gases, I would say a Lin Queen Nidus all in. But with 3 gases, we are going to be taking up a little bit faster here. Very curious. Bailey Nest on the way. Overlords are going to be shutting down. One of the Overlords is going to be shut down. So is another. Big pickups here by Clem. But yeah, just really interesting to get to invest into such a fast lair like this. But still going for a Bailey Nest. Very interesting. Meanwhile, oh god, these Cyclones getting so much damage done on these Queens. Don't kill any of them, but do soften them up. Meanwhile, we do see a big Ling counterattack heading towards that natural base. Do we have much of him to defend? We have plenty of Marines in position. Dark will be checking with the Ling and does confirm. Yeah, he slips into the main base. He gets eyes on everything. He does see the 3cc 2-on-1 opener. Is aware. And is soon to be getting ready. So I guess this was just a safe opener out of Dark. Again, the fast layer really catching me a bit off guard. Going to a bit of a faster bathing speed. So just, yeah, very safe opener. Fast bathing speed into his 1-1 Evo chambers. Dark is going to be setting up here on his 3 bases. Clem pushing out on the left-hand side. Moving out with those Cyclones. And we'll see what he can get done. Okay, again, Stim is going to be available, but the Lings are looking to go for a surround. Clem has to be very careful with his movement, as he does rotate over towards that 4. He has arrived, does force a cancel. Very nicely done. Again, Dark, he cannot quite engage, not off of creep. So Clem just going to be containing his opponents, achieving quite a lot here already with this push. And behind this, building himself up towards Marine Mine, actually. Widow Mines are on the way. Meanwhile, Dark, just stable here on 3 bases. He has to double expand to make up for his late 4th. It's a Marine. But yeah, upon forcing the cancel, we do have to go for the double expand. Clem, he is here, though, to deny these bases. Dark should be able to keep up, though. Does keep up. Hydra Den is on the way, so Ling main Hydra is going to be the composition of choice for Dark. Clem, he's already working on that 4th, so we're not going for a 3-base all-in. We're not going for an 8 racks or anything crazy like that. Do have our 2nd factory, 2 gases here at the 3rd, and working towards the 4th. So far, Clem all over this, working towards the mid-game. Going to be reinforcing. What also is important is that Clem hasn't been losing anything. Look at the resources lost tab. We've only lost 3 Marines. Get very careful control here, very careful engagements out of Clem. Barely losing anything. Clearing up a lot of this creep. Widow Mines are getting in position. Dark trying to find an engage here, but he has to be very careful because of this minefield. He cannot overextend. Meanwhile, double drop on the left-hand side. Again, Dark can take the 4 bases. Does have a base up and running, but Clem wants to try to get on top of that sooner rather than later. He's on his way. Is on the way. And you can see Clem trying to keep the attention of Dark on his army. The mines! Ooh, decent mine shots, 2 of them at least. 3rd one is going to get baited out. Meanwhile, here comes that double drop into that mineral line. Queens are going down, 1 of them at least. Please come in. The mine shot. Good mine shot here on the left-hand side. We are forced to pick up, though. Clem, he maintains his position, still has that 1 Widow Mine, getting his 4th on location, 5th CC on the way. As we drop into the main, we get a Hydra Den. Oh, Hydra Den. Soon to get a Hydra. Good target firing on the Palings even. Very nice trade from Clem. Hydras do survive. Meanwhile, here on the front lines, Clem, he does hold on. Trading very well against the Lings. And Clem, he's snowballing out of control. Like, the efficiency here. Look at the trades! 3,000 minerals in the gutter here for Dark. Trading 9 Marines for 96 Lings. That is crazy. That is insane. And that's why Clem is maxed. He's maxed out, he's pushing. Dark still trying to keep up here with Clem. Still looking for a good engage. Oh! The Bailey connections! Finally, 1 fight goes Dark's way. Connects with the Banelings, but here comes from the left-hand side. Clem pushing forward. Hydras are in position. Mine shot's not going off. Good target firing here by Dark. 1 mine shot does connect, but only 1. And Dark, he is holding. He does force Clem back. Behind this, the Hive is done. Vipers are on the way, working towards +3 melee. Dark desperately trying to expand and take another base. Ooh, Mind Shot is going to be dragged away. Clem is being forced back. Again, Dark having some good moments here. Widowmine's not quite burrowed. Only one shot going off. Dark catching Clem completely off guard, actually. So many mines going down. And Dark, he's going for the kill. He's going right for the army. Can he pull this off? Clem does kite all the way back to his reinforcements. Yeah, he's going to be able to force this back. Clem, he does hold on. Was that a kill? Or was it cancel on the CC? On the building CC. Meanwhile, 5th base up and running. Clem, his economy is insane. Better than that of the Zerg. Dark, he's behind in workers, behind in bases. Clem, his goal here is to snowball out of control, already investing into Liberators and Ghosts. Meanwhile, he misses the army rotation. Clem moving out while Dark moves in. Decent mine connections. Oh, we do force some friendly fire. Dark, he's pushing towards the 3rd base. Doesn't quite make it in though. And Clem is forced to turn back around. He's racing back home. He was out of position. And it looks like we will deny this 6th base. It's going to be denied. Parasitic Bomb's going to be connecting as well. Oh my, the power bombs! Some decent Baneling connections as well. But where are the Lings? Without Lings, we can't really engage. Dark has to back off. Does have to retreat. 3-3 on the way. Adrenal as well. It's all about to kick in here for Dark, as he is establishing his 6th base, working on his 7th. Well, establishing, sorry, his 5th base, working on his 6th. But again, tech-wise, Clem, he's already there. He can already deal with lurkers or ultras if we were to tech in either direction. Clem has to be confident to over-invest into Ghost, though. Like, he's still up against Ling Main Hydra. Still have to fixate on the Bio Army. Liberator harass across the map. Being annoying. Very annoying, actually. Getting a couple of drone kills. As Clem is now going to be pushing on the right-hand side. The freedom, it's here. We have our freedom zones. Dark getting ready for his own counterattack towards that planetary. Mine shot's going to be going off. One Ghost goes down. But again, a good spread here on top of the ramp. Clem, he can push through. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, he does come across the other army of Dark. Oh, and there's not enough Banelings. Not enough Banelings here on the right-hand side. It looks like Clem, he's breaking through. Oh, but the friendly fire. The mines working against Clem, and Dark, he does hold on just barely. Keeps that hatchery alive. He was forced to rotate everything over. That's a lot of Ling Bane on the way. Meanwhile, behind this, Clem has got 4 CCs in production. Basically, we're about to have an abundance of orbitals, which means that Clem can actually work with a lower SCV count. Left-hand side, hatchery does full. But Dark, though, he's going to be pushing forward. How many Banelings? We have 50 Banelings! 51 Banelings, soon to be 60, on the way. And we get a surround. We force a pick up. But Dark going straight for the planetaries. Yeah, CCs are going down. One gets cancelled. We go straight for the mineral line as well. Dark going for the kill. Clem racing back home with the rest of his army. Coming in from behind. But Clem, he may just not have enough. We're getting into the main base. We're trying to camp the production as well. Again, things getting very chaotic here. As Dark is pulling back. Oh, the power bomb. Getting a lot done. Nice CMP on the Vipers. There are still Lings in the main base, by the way. Still camping the production in the natural. Yeah, Fusion Core is going to be focused down. Did we get range? We did not. Liberator range was not researched. And Dark, he gets damage done. Cripples the economy, takes down the CC, gets on top of the production, and even delays the tech. And now Dark, he has momentum on his side. And now he can go for this planetary as well. Again, Clem, he's out of position. He's not where he needs to be. He's still at home. He's racing back. The Bailings, they crash in. They take down the mineral line. They take down the planetary as well. But Clem, he has a super maxed army. Oh my god, he's at 130 army supply. Clem, he may not have much of an economy. He may not have a bank, but he has an army. And that's what's scary. Dark has to remax as quickly as possible. Things are coming in. Ooh, good mine shots. Good mine shots from Clem. Big Link counterattack, but Clem, he's basically all in with this. He's going to keep pushing, and I don't know if Dark can stop him. Without lurkers, I'm not sure if I'm convinced. Dark, he's coming back home with his Vipers. Clem is committed. Clem up 30 army supply. Liberator from behind. Lane Bane rolling in. Once again, good power bombs here on the libs. We're gonna surround. Two crash in. Decent Baneling connections. Clem, though, not slowing down. A lot of his supply, surprising amount of supply here in these medevacs. 13 medevacs here for Clem. He needs a ground army. They're on the way. But Clem, he's hurting. He has two kind of mining bases. It does run into a mineral line. Drones are going down. A good run by. An expensive one, though. Ghosts and Marauders. We see Clem trying to keep up. Massive shell on the way. Darky just has so much Ling Bane here on top of the ramp. And again, we have a lot of medevacs, but we have enough to actually sustain this. Enough on the ground to sustain this army. Good Vipers, they push them forward. More big parasite bombs here, taking down some of the medevacs as well. But it looks like this base is going to fall. Clem, he breaks another mining base of Dark. Dark going for a counterattack. Liberators getting in position. I'm loving the Liberators camping the production. Just to keep the reinforcements safe. Lings are going down and we can keep pushing. Where are the Bailings? Where are the Bailings? They're not done. They're being targeted down. We have 2 Bailings left. 1 Bailing left. Crush transfuse. Oof. Clem is forced back. He loses his entire natural, including those starports. These things are going to be shaved off. Dark going for one of the fresh mining bases here of Clem, denying it. It's getting very scrappy. Then he scans, he sees another base. The mines are coming in. They waddle into the mineral line. Dark is on the way, but I don't think he saw. Okay. Drones are going down. The rest of the army rotates over. Dark going for a big link hand attack towards the main, towards that third. So he's going to deny a base, but he's going to be losing a base as well. Decent splits, but medevacs are getting picked up. And they're just so low. 17 drones go down. Dark down to 57. Liberators, they do run into those Hydras. Pretty big moment actually there for Dark. Okay, this is still so scrappy. Dark looks like he will catch these Marines. Gets a medevac as well. Overextension from Clem. These medevacs are so low. 1 or 2 good power bombs and we can kill everything here. Speaking of, do we still have the Vipers? We do. 5 Vipers are available here for Dark. Sucking on those buildings, gathering energy. Dark double expanding, taking top right and bottom left. But I don't think we can hold on to them. Yeah, bottom left goes down. Dark, he's in position here towards the top right. The army sizes are pretty comparable. Economy is pretty comparable as well. This is still anyone's game. In Professors. That could be a game changer. One, a good fungal growth. And Dark can take this. While the Lings, they try to get into the mineral line. They're going to be denied. And pushing on the right. And Lings going to be connecting with the Widow Mines. We do abduct one of those Liberators. The Blinding Clouds. Good EMP grazing 2 of the Vipers. Not all 5 though. 3 of them do escape. Clem though is pushing towards that mineral line. He's going to be able to take down another base. Where are the Banelings? The Banelings are not here. Oh my god. As the hatchery will go down. Big pick off here from Clem. Dark, he is being starved out. Clem has max. He's maxed out. Dark is still on the way. Still down 50 supply. Pressure's coming in. Good fungal. Very nice fungal. We take down a good chunk of Marines. A medevac as well. We cannot chase this. Not off of free, but Clem is snowballing out of control. Again, he has maxed out. Or he did max out. With mine not connecting. EMP does connect with the Vipers. Parabomb takes down another medevac. Another 2 medevacs. What about the Marines? There's just too much on the ground. There's too much man with gun. Dark, he's been fighting his heart out. Did well for himself. I don't think he has enough Baileys here. He's going to try to engage. He's trying. Clem gaining ground. These bases are getting up and running. Or I say this base is getting up and running. Dark desperately needs it. More reinforcements being sent out. Dark hasn't even expanded down here, but Clem will deny those would-be bases. Oh. Both Widow Mines do go down. Good target firing out of Dark. Meanwhile, here comes that drop, and we catch some of these workers. Long distance mining. Dark going for the surround. The yoinks! We get 1, we get 2, 3 full medevacs. Oh my god. Clemmy plummets in supply. Big move out of Dark. That's what he needed, but is it enough? Mines go up. Widow Mines are going to be shut down. Expensive trade here from Clem, but he did kill a base. Did kill a base. Now, if Dark is able to do that again, if he catches like 2 more full medevacs, or 3 more full medevacs, then he will even things up. Clem with another biting base. Not like this. He's not stopping, he's not slowing down. Another medevac. Calm down. It's going to be unloading, thankfully. Oh, this is an orbital, so we could go for the mineral line. Yeah, Lings are coming in. Clem having the sense here to pull back, though. They'll save his workers. Big EMP. Oh my god, catching every single every single Viper except for one. One Viper does escape. Yeah, Clem, he's going to be committing. There's no Lingbane left. Not anymore. And the Mass Marine should be able to break through. It's going to be closer. Here comes some reinforcements. Dark, he's holding his forces back to the planetary. Mine's just going to be going off the planetary holds. Here come the reinforcements from Clem. And again, this is just becoming too much. Oh my god, massive mine shot. GG gets called, and Clem will take game number 1. Just barely, though. GG. That was very scrappy, very back and forth. Both players, they got down and dirty. That was that was not clean. That was not a clean game from Clem. He did have an advantage, and he was ahead for most of that game, for like the second half of that game. Clem was in a more dominant position, but Dark was making that close. He was fighting back fighting his heart out for so long there. He was making Clem work for it. And eventually Clem was able to seal the deal. And with that, that's game 1 in the books. Clem does take a lead in the series, but it's a best of 5. Plenty of games are ahead of us. Plenty more games here between these two players. Again, historically, Clem has been the favorite player in this series. Clem has been looking dominant against Dark, but that can all change here and now. I want to believe. I want to believe. So we are getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hardland, we have the blue Terran player from the land of France, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. I usually say from the land of Europa, which is why I stopped there. I'm so tired. In the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Go. Dark stayed on Lingbane Hydra all game 8, kind of. I mean, Lingbane Hydra isn't a bad composition to stay on, especially if your opponent is turtling. Against this heavy aggression style of Clem, though, I do agree. I do agree that I feel like teching a little bit is favored. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because when Dark had the opportunity to tech up, whether it would be lurkers or ultras, Clem already had ghosts. Like, the reality is that Clem, he had so much momentum in this game. Remember, he was the first to max out. He was the first to tech up into ghosts and liberators. Clem was in a commanding position. There is a world where Dark maybe could have tried to tech up, true, but I don't think that would have. I don't know if that would have changed the outcome. Just because of Clem's position overall. So yeah, it was a rough game there from Dark, but we'll see if he can come back in the rest of this series. So we're getting into game number 2. For now, gonna be a racked expand. Standard opener here from Clem. Likewise, hatch X pull out of Dark. I don't really expect anything too crazy in the early game. We'll see. We shall see. As we're going to be loading into one of the smaller maps in the map pool, I wouldn't be surprised if Dark were to play Roach here on hard lead. I do think there's a lot of potential there, and Dark in general is quite fond of Roaches against Terran. We haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure we'll see it at some point in this series. So now the Reaper has arrived. We're going to be dancing with these Lings. Up. Behind this 3cc opener here from Clem. Once again, going for something more economic. If you remember last game, it was 3cc 211 from Clem, which is why he was able to be very active at the start of the game. Like, there's so much that went into the early to mid game of last. Like, I kind of blanket said last game that Clem, he was ahead, and I mean, that's true. But it's also because of his 3cc 2-on-1, where he was able to deny the 4th base over and over again, get ahead economically, and eventually snowball into a larger army in the mid-game of Game 1. Meanwhile, Dark is amassing a lot of Lings. Oh my god, more Lings than is normal. Clem is going to be going into a 3cc 2-on-1 this time. This should be for potentially Banshee production, but Dark is flooding Lings. He's flooding Lings across the map. He wants to try to deal some economic damage here on the low ground. Oh, is caught out by these Reapers though. More Lings are on the way. Behind this, Dark is droning, but he needs to make these Lings worth it, otherwise he will fall behind. They have to trade and shut down the Hellions or kill these SCVs. Here we go, the Hellions have been revealed. They do not dive into the main base or into the natural, and Dark getting ready to pull the trigger. Getting ready for that dive. Again, he just needs confirmation of the army. But there's only 2 Hellions across the map, and Dark, he should know that the rest of the Hellions are back at home. And yeah, we have 4 Hellions here to defend, soon to be 6. Oh, they do get surrounded though. Clem not paying attention, was not looking. Hellions are going to be going down, which means we will get a kill on these SCVs. Workers, they are going to be going down. The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the main. Ay, ay, ay. They get into the main base. They already get 6, 7, 9 SCV kills, and this is already worth it for Dark. 12 worker kills, and behind this, Dark is droning. So unlike the previous game where Clem got an economic lead, this time Dark gets a massive lead here early on, getting 15 SCVs. And behind this, droning, making queens. He gets a full scout as well. He does confirm the tech lab on the starport. He also saw it researching as well, so he should be aware that banshees are coming out. We should be getting spores. There it is. Spores are now on the way. Clem wisely did have his Hellions back at home to defend, but wasn't quite paying attention at this time. Was surrounded and was punished. Ay, ay, ay. Banshee does arrive here at the third. He's not going to be able to get too much economic damage done here across the map. He denies some creep tours with this Banshee. It's nice and all, but the reality is that Clem, there's a lot of onus to get more damage done. He's down to 38 SCVs. He needs to get more done. He needs to kill more workers. But he also can't overextend. As Dark is in position, these Banshees, they just can't get much done. There's spores and queens everywhere. Dark getting into triple Evo? Like, is this intentional? Are we going for a 1-1-1 timing? No shot. A little bit unnecessary here from Dark, but I mean, we've got the resources for it. Let's go. There it is. We have 1-1 on the way. We have our Bailey Nest first, which is a wise choice before we start our +1 range. But yep, there it is. 1-1-1. We're going for it. Oh my god. Dark being so greedy here, but he knows he can, right? Like, he dealt so much damage earlier. He's still far ahead. Double the worker count, up to 80 drones now at this point. And from here, Dark is getting into Ling, Bane, Hydra. I'm getting a couple of workers here at the central base. Very nice. Behind this, working towards Stim, 1-1. Building up the rest of his production, trying to stabilize on 3 bases, and he will, don't get me wrong. He should be able to get up to 60 workers. But the downside here is that Dark has so much freedom. And because he's been able to drone up to 80 without too much issue, we can go into a Hive, we can go towards Adrenal, tech up even further, and max out. Unlike the previous game, Dark is going to be the first to max out this time. The drop play is upon us. From Clem. Hellions getting into the match. Base morphing into a Hellbat as well, trading quite well. Oh my god. Getting a wave of Lings. Let's get a wave of those Lings. Drilling claws on the way behind this. And being as active as possible with these drops. Again, there's potential, right? If he's ever able to catch Dark off guard, he can get a mineral line. That's what he's hoping for. That's what he's gunning for. He needs a mineral line. He needs a base. He needs something. Decent mine shot. Ooh, as we connect with the Bailings. Very nice with a mine shot there as well. Clammy pulls back. Hiding the army off of creep. Dark, they're now working on 2-2-2. No infestation bit yet, which is a little bit concerning. We're lacking the infestation, but we're lacking the hive, which we can afford. Clem is headed towards that linear third base. Up the mine. Not quite connecting. As Clem, he's just continuing to apply pressure here and is trading well. Don't get me wrong. Oh, he was trading well. Takes the bailing to the face. Not like this. Dark going for 6 overlords. He has supply blocks. Bit of a brutal supply block at that. And there's the infestation bit. This is late. This was a bit of an oversight here from Dark. Clem, can he recover? Can Clem somehow recover here? Here we go. Darky pulls the trigger, running into a minefield. We got some decent connections, but nothing major. We do shut down some of those lings. Even some banelings. Clem kiting all the way back towards his natural. Does kite well. Only loses 2 SCVs. Oh my god. Not bad. Not a bad fight from Clem. Unfortunately, Dark can afford to remax. Clem cannot. There's that hive now on the way. Again, it is a late hive. Ideally, we want to start up 333 immediately. But again, the hive has been delayed. That was also a bit of an anti-timing. Dark attacking before his upgrades kicked in. Now he's pushing in. Oh, big connections. Big mine shots. Good target firing as well. Clem, he is fighting back. Meanwhile, across the map, the Banshee going ham, getting 5 drone kills. Clem, he's on the road to recover. He isn't quite there yet. He still has some catching up to do, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Alright, pushing forward once again. Arguably overextending here, taking some mine shots to the face. Once again, Clem trading efficiently. But Morling Bane rolls in. Oh my god, the mine shots! Hive is now done. We can get into 3-3. This time the Banelings will roll in. This time we will kill some SCVs. We should at least. There we go. 21 SCVs go down. And now this has suddenly been worth it for Dark. This entire time he's been having such a hard time here, crippling the economy. He takes down the workers. He can get on top of the army as well. Here come the reinforcements. And GG gets called. Finally, Dark does break Clem and ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh. GG, well played. And yeah, that was basically off the back of the Ling run by. The Ling counterattack from Dark did a devastating amount of damage, and it put Dark in a commanding position, and from there he never really let it go. Clem was trading well. He was trading very efficiently for quite some time, but it just was not enough to recover from his losses early on. It isn't just about killing SCVs, but the fact that you kill SCVs that early on, like, that is much more impactful. It's more impactful losing 15 SCVs when you have 30 than when you have 80, for example. And it's just, yeah, too much damage too early on. Clem could not recover. Tried to, almost did, but wasn't quite able to. And with that, we have a tied up series. Let's go. Do have a tied up series here. This could still go either way. Could still go either the way of the Terran or the Zerg. It's a best of 5. At least 2 more games ahead of us. And it looks like Clem is asking for a break here. Looks like he's having some technical issues. So we are actually going to take a little bit of a break. We usually don't take breaks mid-series, but it looks like Clem, he's actually restarting his PC. So it's going to take him a little bit to relog and to re-enter. So going to be going on a small break here. When we return, we will have game 3 to determine who takes the lead in the series, who will gain momentum. Will it be Dark or will it be Clem? We're here to find out. We'll be back soon. And we are back, and we are just jumping in, or returning mid-series here. It looks like the technical issues have been resolved. We have restarted our PCs, at least our Terran player has, and now we're getting back into game number 3 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone. We have the French Terran, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing DragonKy Gaming. It is Dark. Tying up the series 1-1, and Clem being a little bit adventurous here, going for what looks to be a bit of a proxy. We have one Rax back at home, but that SCV going to be mining through those mineral patches, going to the other side of the wall here, and we could go, yeah, for a second proxy across the map. There's a Reaper Cliff here coming in towards the main, and we could see a second Rax here from Clem. And there it is. It's on the way. So, 2 Rax Reaper from Clem. Not the most committed proxy, but a proxy nonetheless. This is designed to try to catch Dark off guard, and ideally try to catch Dark being a little bit too greedy as well. With all these Reapers, our goal here should be to deny the third. The third should be denied. If it isn't, then Dark is going to have a bit of a lead. We could also, of course, kill Queens or kill drones. We'll see what we can get done. Those Reapers are on the way again. A very cheeky maneuver here from Clem. We'll see if it pays off, especially if Dark takes his third. It's gonna be brutal. Oh my god, is it going to be brutal? For now, we are just getting things set up. Going for a hatch gas. We'll standard opener here from Dark. Likewise, a standard opener from Clem as well. I say a standard opener. The 2 Racks. Going for a CC behind it is what I meant to say. We're not going all in. We're not going for like a 3 Racks or anything like that. We're not going mass Reaper. As he's expanding. Reaper's going to be dipping in towards the main base. 2 Reapers already are revealed, so Dark should be aware of what's going on. And already 1 drone gets picked off. Oh my god. Can we get 2? As at least they try to come in for a surround. They do almost trap those Reapers, but they do barely escape. Barely do get out of there. Reapers, they make it out, so do have a 3rd base being taken. Reapers, they up. Head in towards the natural, barely getting out, barely escaping. Towards that 3rd. And yeah, as we mentioned before, the goal here of this proxy Rax is to deny the 3rd base. Get on top of it and force a cancel. Lings are going for a big counterattack. Looks like Dark, he's aware that the space is going to be shut down. And Dark, he is amassing Lings, by the way. He's cutting drones here at 19. Uh-oh. And what do we have at home to defend? What do we have? Nothing so far. Going for the reactor, going for the add-on. The Lings, they have arrived. They're looking to knock down this wall. Reapers, they're racing back home. Boys are being pulled. Looks like we can repair. Meanwhile, Dark, he does not deny the Reapers. They get behind the wall, and we will hold. Clem, he contains Dark to 2 bases. He forces out all these Lings, and the Lings, they do nothing. Dark in a really rough position here. These Lings, they could have been drones. At least they do force back the Reapers. We see Dark trying to expand, but he's got a lot of droning to do. A lot of catching up here. Meanwhile, behind this, the Rax floating back home, getting into a 2-on-1 setup. Oh, sorry, 3cc 2-on-1 setup. 3rd CC is completed. So Clem focusing on his economy. Focusing on that economy. Oh, as we do get us around. Big overextension. 2 Reapers go down. Very nicely done here by Dark. So at least we get something. Bailey Nest is on the way. That is a fast Bailey Nest, by the way. Dark, it looks like he realizes how far behind he is economically, and we are making Lings. We are going for a Bane bust. One way or another, the game will end. Okay, so Clem, what does he have to defend? We have 1 Hellion. We have a Cyclone as well. Not ideal. We have the Starport. We have a Banshee on the way, which can help a little bit. The bunker is important. We have 1 bunker behind the wall. Clem taking a defensive position. He still doesn't know what's going on. And here we go. The Banelings have arrived. And that's a lot of Banelings. 8 Banelings, soon to be 10 Banelings on the way. And they're going to be knocking down the wall. Now Clem knows what's going on. He does try to hold his ground. Boys are being pulled. We have 1 Baneling left. 0 Banelings left. They're rolling on in. But a good hold here at the natural. The Lings, they do flood into the main. Additional Banelings on the way. The SCVs are getting annihilated in the main base. The Lings just going ham. Banelings going to be denied. 8 workers go down. The Banshee has arrived, and we should be able to focus down those Banelings. Yeah, we will clean this up. Looks like this is going to be a hold. The Lings trying to break through that Rax, but yeah, we get the repair going. Oh, and now Dark is in a rough position. GG gets called. Clem, he survives the all-in, and Clem takes a lead in this series. GG. I was about to say that Clem, he was up 10 workers. He's up 10 workers, plus the orbital, plus mules as well. Dark was completely all-in, had to kill, not cripple. He was not able to pull it off. GG. As we do get into this. As we are just getting ready for our next game. Getting ready for our next game here. And yeah, with that, sorry, just some technical, some admin issues that are going on. Just some admin issues here, but regardless, we are getting ready for our next game here. Clem, he has a lead in the series 2-1. One more win is all he needs. Oh. One more win is all he needs here to take it all. Can Dark fight back? Can we force an ace? Personally, I want an ace match. I want a game 5, not just a game 3. We just had it. A game 5 here, an ace match. Here we go. So we're just sorting this out. And it looks like our next game is going to be on Site Delta. Site Delta. As looks like there was just some people trying to slip in. Just some people trying to sneak in to the lobby. It's okay. It's okay. We're on it, Poppy. We're on it. Here we go. Yeah, it's an issue that we have sometimes with ESL Asia. Every now and then, here in ESL Americas. Every now and then in ESL Americas. It's okay. We deal with it. We deal with it, Poppy. We deal with it. Everyone's like, oh, who's this caster? And we all check. It's like, this caster doesn't exist. Aye. Oh, good. Alright. Issues have been resolved. Now we can dive into our next game. Beautiful, Poppy. Beautiful. And as we load into Side Delta, it's a bit of a larger map. One of the larger maps in the map pool has a long rush distance, can be very difficult to try to actually defend some of your fringe bases as well. Can be quite difficult. So yeah, we'll see how Dark approaches this. What I'm getting at here is if we do end up in a longer game towards the mid to late game, we have seen a lot of Zerg players struggle to deal with split pushes and drop play on this map. I guess it goes both ways, to be fair. It does go both ways where link counterattacks can have a lot of can cause a lot of chaos as well. But based on the speed of Clem, I don't know if we can actually pull that off. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this does unfold. We'll see how our players approach this as we load into game number 4. Potentially the final game of the series, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Side Delta, we have our French Terran player, our blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Go. We are going to be settling into this. Again, I expect to see some standard openers this time. We saw Clem be a little bit cheeky in the last game. Did do a lot of damage, did end up forcing the all-in out of Dark. Again, Clem was able to defend beautifully against it. With plenty of workers to spare. Dark going for a hatch first. Soon to be a hatch gas pool, I imagine. And Clem is going for the racks on the high ground. We're not going for a 2. We haven't seen Clem go for, we've seen him go 2 racks, but not quite for the beyond 2 racks here on the low ground as a part of the ramp. This is a good map for it, just because we have a ramp leading into the natural. But yeah, instead, we're just going for the high ground racks instead. Something a little more standard, a little more safe, a little more normal as we ease into game 4. Personally, I want to have lunch with Dark. Oh, food. Food would be amazing in general. In general. Gibbage lunch. For now, though, Rax Expand is upon us here from Clem. SCV Scout's going to be coming in just to get confirmation. Again, Dark, he is not one to shy away from going a gas first build or a pool first. As we saw earlier against Protoss, he is more than willing to go for like hatch blocks or even 12 pools. But Clem, he confirms the hatchery timing, and he backs off. He's aware. He is in the know. Meanwhile, Reaper is going to be moving out as well. Just to dance with the units of Dark. Delay the third base if possible. Third is on the way though, and does get up and running. And very nicely timed there from Dark. Reaper going to be dancing with these lings. Chipping away at them. The Queen is about to arrive. We do get a kill on one ling. We get a second ling as well. Oh my god. Clem. Getting a lot done. Not the most impactful trades, but killing 2 lings this early on is quite nice. Behind this, we have a 3rd CC on the way. So once again, it's a 3CC variation. In game 1, we had 3CC 2-on-1. We also had a 3CC Banshee opener in the previous game. So we have options available here with how we want to play this out. And it's looking to be Banshee, as we do have the add-on swap being set up here with the placement of the buildings. Reaper tries to dip in, and there it is. The Banshee is on, Starport is on the way. If we get a Tech Lab here, we can go for the Banshee, and there it is. Tech Lab is in production, so a very safe opener. Banshee play as well is beautiful against roach-based compositions. So if Dark were to play roaches, then Clem would be set up for that. I do think in general it's very wise to play like Banshee against Dark, just because he is one to roach. The Reaper barely makes it out as well. Hellions, they threaten the natural. They don't really kill anything yet, but again, the multitasking of Dark is being tested. Dark is able to keep up. Behind this, we have our first Banshee in production. We haven't researched Cloak yet, but there we go. There we go. We will be investing into Cloak. Looking to deal some harassing damage. Again, a very safe and economic way to open up here for Clem. Not really cutting any corners. This is kind of as standard can get. kind of what you want to be aiming for here if you are a Terran in TVZ. This will be leading to bioplay. This can always transition to mech, but there we go. We do have Raxes in production. It's going to be a 3-1-1 setup here on 2 bases. The Overlord does confirm this as well. I believe the Overlord also saw the researching, saw the researching tech lab, so we are fully aware that Cloak is in production, so Dark should soon be throwing down Spore Crawlers to get ready for the harass. There it is. Spores are on the way. Lair in production. Pretty standard play out of Dark as well. Pretty standard lair timing. This should be leading into a Baneling Nest momentarily as well to get into Baneling speed. There it is. Baneling Nest has been thrown down. So ideally, the Baneling Nest is lined up with the lair so you can start Baneling speed as soon as possible. And this will eventually lead into Evo chambers and upgrades, as the Hellions do threaten that 4th. There it is. Evo chambers are on the way. Meanwhile, the wall... the wall is not a wall. The Hellions are across the map. They're racing back home, and we will get some damage done. Once again, Clem not quite ready back at home. That's going to be 6 SCV kills. This is not as much as game number 2, when Dark was able to take a game and gain momentum on hard lead. But damage is done nonetheless, and yeah, Dark is able to alleviate some pressure. He forces back the Hellions. He gets some worker kills, and yeah, Dark is going to have a much cleaner time, or a much easier time getting into the mid game this time. Banshee's taking a lot of hits. Do take a lot of damage. Macro Hatch is on the way. Meanwhile, at the same time, big Hellion counterattack here at the 3rd. We got 5 worker kills. At the same time, Lings of Dark coming in. We're going blow for blow. Both players taking damage. Dark loses drones. Clan losing SCVs. Even getting another SCV here towards the end. Almost getting. As Clem lost 9 SCVs to the 7 of Dark. So pretty even. Pretty neck and neck. Meanwhile, behind this, we're going Ling Bane straight into the Infestation Pit. Interesting choice from Dark. So, essentially, as we have seen previously, Dark has been rushing into Ling Bane Hydra. This time, instead of the Hydra Den, we have the Infestation Pit. This will be for a faster hive. This could be for Ling Bane into Ultra production. That is definitely on the table here for Dark. It's what we saw earlier against Protoss. We could see it again here against Terran. It is difficult to pull off. The danger here of going Ling Bane into Ultra is your lack of anti-air. You don't have any Hydras, you don't have any Mutas, you don't have any Corruptors. It means that drop play can pull you apart. And Clem is one to go ham on drop play. So this is a really bold move out of Dark as the hive is on the way. And the first drop has arrived. Oh, we do have a safety infestor. Do love to see it. Drones are being targeted down. We do drop into the main. Mines connecting with the Queens. Those medevacs have taken a lot of damage here. It looks like we won't get into the mineral line. At the same time, though, we do have a Hellion run by. Once again, into the mineral line. 8 workers go down. We morph them into Hellbats, just trading as best we can against the Lings. Oh, they do crash in. We get some more drones. Almost. We get 10 workers in total, and we're not done. Here comes another double drop. The tempo here from Clem has been set. Bailings to roll in. 5 SCVs. Not too bad. 5 workers have fallen, but we don't have many Bailings at all to defend. We have a fungal, though. Go for the scan. We do get eyes on the Infestor. Clem has to be very careful. Oh my god. Splitting off a couple of Marines. Big connection. Oh, the drag. Massive drag there. Bailings roll in, but we clean up the Bailings. GG gets called. It's just too much. Clem has broken Dark, and Clem will be this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion. GG. GG, well played again. That defense from Dark was on a knife's edge. I said at the time, like, it's so risky to try to just go pure Ling Bane. And Dark was being pulled apart. He was being shut down. Dark plummeting in supply there towards the end. Again, a really good mine shots. The fungals wasn't enough. No Bailings left. And Dark was losing that base and losing that series. GG. Very well done here by Clem. Very powerful play. And Clem, he continues his streak here against Dark. I think that's 7 wins in a row. 7 best of series wins in a row for Clem. He just seems to have Dark's number in recent times, in recent months. So really solid play. With that, congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations to Clem here for becoming our champion. Big shout out to Dark as well. Big shout out to Dark. He made it all the way to the finals, and it was not an easy road. It was not an easy road here for him. Sorry, just messing with some people. Sorry, just messing with some people. Some players. As we let them know what happened and the score here. GG. And with that, we are going to be wrapping up. Here towards the end of the night, as yeah, that's going to be the end of our broadcast for now for ESL Americas. We're not done here for the day. I do need some sleep though. I do apologize for the cast. I was misspeaking a lot, especially towards the finals, and a lot of that was because my brain was like going autopilot a little bit. I haven't been able to sleep too much recently just because of all the casting we've been doing, and that's going to continue tonight. I believe in how many hours? 4 hours time? 4 hours? We're going to be back. We're going to be back here on this channel. Sorry, 5 hours time. We're going to be back covering KSL. We did end up missing out on the KSL over the weekend, so we're going to be having a catch-up replay cast in 5 hours. So the StarCraft does not end, and I need some rest. I need to get some sleep before it. So yeah, if you're curious, if you maybe missed out yourself on DreamHack Atlanta, then we got you covered. We got you covered. Sorry, on KSL, then we got you covered later on tonight in 5 hours time. Meanwhile, don't forget, DreamHack Atlanta is this weekend. Big celebration, big event of StarCraft is going to be coming at you over the next week, over the next couple of days. So be sure you're a part of that. It's beautiful. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. I'm gonna get some rest. A big shout out to Clem as well as Dark for making it this far in the tournament. Again, Dark, he took down Max Packs to make it this far. So really solid performance. Otherwise, yeah, we do appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll see you then. We'll see you then. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who. We'll find someone here. We'll find someone to send everyone to send our love to. Give them a chance. Give them some support. And yeah, we will see you there. Who are we gonna be raiding? I think we have Anki. We'll find someone. We'll find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys in 5 hours. Other than that, thanks for watching. Until then, bye. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.